It's nothing. And now, once I land, I know stopping. Go shopping, fuck cash. If I go, where I come from, if they leave me, check on. I saw something in my phone. From that's the life of a city boy. We are Mama Sheba, come back on. Make me the start to the paragon. Start to the halagon. Cause you know that my people they calagon. Oh no, my power. As I hate it, now not speak with my yamo. Not be my father's son. Cause you know that I come from potato. That's why I'm a jago. Start to the dance, I'm the tattoo. I go show you the outside the lago. Cause I be city boy. And I said they for the street, they give me joy. Lamborghini boy. Put them on Jesus and I'm not religious. But I know if I go low, breakfast from fire. We don't tell you check over. I saw a champagne in my bowl. You take out from the jack over. Girls from Montana, that's the life of the city boy. Oh yeah, yeah, Dama. Oh yeah, yeah, Jello. Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Hey yo, I'm not even gonna lie. I used to call myself an ugly you, but I'm not even an ugly you. I'm a sexy you, you understand? Girl all over the globe wanna up, you understand?
Everything I do is share, yeah. I'm money different, yeah. Cause I got my heart, I don't care, I'm there, I don't care, I'm there, I can't stand, oh I'm there, I'm I put the foot on my ass, let's go, let's go, you leave me, I don't care, oh I'm there, I don't care, come on, I can't stand, oh I'm there, oh teacher me, just feel my best, take these feelings away.
Yo, what's up with it, yo?
Well, damn, bro, what's good?
Chilling, man. Chilling, man. What's good with it, fam? What's good to the chat? What's good out there in the YouTube world? Welcome to the Al Jaheed's podcast, man. We're in the building with your boy Gilla Jabiri, and I got the official street Sufi in the building. Amir, aka
What
Ngozi. What's up with it, bro?
what damn, bro? Peace and love to you, bro. Yeah, it's good to get on here with my bro. We can get it cracking, man, and teach what we need to teach. You know, the ops going crazy. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get it in and teach in a manner that everybody should be willing to learn, and we can meet everybody where they at, man. Let's get it in, bro.
Oh yeah, man. I did this show, man. I called this show Africa is diverse. Get over it, man. Because a lot of people don't understand how diverse the continent is. I think it's just one way. I think everybody's supposed to be look like a Bantu or look at some type of particular way or something. I'm trying. I wanted to put in fruition and put in perspective of the continent and map out, you know what I'm saying, the different regions and the different people groups and the ethno-linguistic groups in particular regions and what these people will look like and even the overlap. You know what I'm saying? We're just gonna build, you know what I'm saying, build and get it in. I'm gonna show a few. I'm gonna show a few. I got a few sources and stuff. I'm gonna show too. Of course, you know what I'm saying. We get to say we want to say on here. Ain't no cutting off or none of that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. I'm saying I'm gonna look. I got a couple sources. I'm gonna show a couple videos.
Hey, you know what? You know what, Gullah Geechee?
Yeah.
I would like to do. I'm on this show. I wanted to lay something down, but I also wanted to lay it down on Shefton's show, on both of y'all shows. But I wanted you to, whenever you get a chance to show your sources, I want you to go to prehistoric Egypt, and I want us to freeze a certain timeline to follow the populations that make it up. Because what's going on now is they asking questions like, why is the population 70 to 80% Eurasian, and what happened to the other population that was there? So I wanted to. I'm sure you're gonna get into it, but in the future, or if we can get a chance to do it on here, we can show why the population in Africa are, diverse, and what timeline they were separated from one another at a certain distance, right? So if
Oh
you go
yeah.
like the prehistoric Egypt, you can see the people in there, and when the basal Eurasians come in. Because I just watched Sub-Saharan James on Reggie's show clearly lie and show one side of the Y chromosomes of the Iberomaroosians and the certain Egyptians, and he was like, "Look, this shows E1B1B. This is indigenous to Africa." But he disregarded the mitochondrial DNA. He disregarded the Iberomaroosian having Neanderthal DNA in them. Trying to make it seem like the back migration only occurred 6,000 to 5,000 years ago, and he's disregarding that the Iberomaroosian starts between 23,000 years ago. And the fossils that was found in Tuffaret Cave, which is 15,000 years ago, proves that he's a goddamn liar.
Oh
He's a
yeah.
liar. And it's really problematic.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm saying Chef. I say Chef Ron in the audience too. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind Chef Ron coming on the show too. We be building. You know what I'm saying? We get together. We all be building back. You know, bouncing ideas back and forth. And it's a video I'm gonna show tonight too, bro. Any videos you want to show too? I can show that too, bro. It's a video I'm gonna show about the diversity of Africa. I don't particularly agree with the particular terms that he uses, but I agree with him overall. You know what I'm saying? This particular video I'm gonna show. Let me swing it up real quick. Peace to the chat. Peace everybody to the chat that participated in watching this, man. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Make sure you hit them like buttons. Let me see. Diversity, Africa. This one guy, he made a video. Oh, this is the home team. Here we go. Found it. I'm gonna share my screen. You can see that goes.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Yeah, I see it.
Okay.
I'm on mute.
Okay, I'm gonna mute mine too. I'm gonna say too, this video, this YouTube channel was made by a guy named Understanding. I follow his channel and like and subscribe his channel too, support his channel too, you know what I'm saying? Since we sharing his channel. It's real informative. He don't just talk about Africa, he talk about different areas around the globe and the different diversities, different populations. He just particularly talking about Africa on this segment. And I'm gonna push play.
Video, I want to introduce.
You can't hear it, girl. I think it's because you put it on mute, or yours on mute.
My bad, my bad. I gotta get myself off.
Centric hate
You hear it
mongers
now?
on social media who try to promote this Nazi-like idea of invade.
Yeah, I can hear it. Perfect.
Hey
Yeah, I
guys,
can hear it.
welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I want to introduce you to the diverse ethnic groups of Africa. Africa is the most diverse continent in the world. It has diversity in habitats, animals, plants, and even humans. So stick to the end to learn about Africans and let me know your opinions down in the comments. So before I start, I want to address two problems. The first is the Afrocentric hate mongers on social media who try to promote this Nazi-like idea of invading North Africa to kick out the non-black native Africans there in order to keep Africa racially black. This far-right Nazi ideology of promoting hate is mainly done by Afrocentric black Americans who have nothing positive to do with their lives but to promote hate.
Okay, yeah, we're totally all going to come together as the black race for the first time in history to conquer North Africa. Guys, it's happening.
So, if you're African or you are in the diaspora, either North or Sub-Saharan, please do not fall in this rabbit hole of hate, in which Afrocentric Black Americans are promoting in social media. I mean, Africans are human beings, are not perfect angels. I mean, I cannot deny that there are racist North Africans. They are a minority, but not all of them. For example, the president of Tunisia made some racist comments about black migrants in Tunisia, but he faced backlash from Tunisians who went to the streets and protest against this racism. And don't forget about the xenophobes of South Africa, who are black and they commit some xenophobic violence against their fellow black African migrants. This does not mean that these bad actors represent the whole population. So don't fall into these Afrocentrics who are using examples like these to divide the children of this great continent called Africa. The second problem that I want to address is that you do not need to be black in order to be African. For example, average North Africans get offended when they are called African because they don't want to be associated with black people. And in the other hand, black people don't see them as African either because they don't look like quote unquote black. So you do not need to be black in order to be African, and you do not need to be African in order to be black. African people come in all shades of color. You can find native Africans with.
Hey, guys, what you think about what he's saying so far?
I think he on point. I mean, you can't get caught. Yeah, he on point. You can't get caught up in skin or how people should look. I mean, Africa is a country. I mean, a continent. With it being a continent, you got over 50 countries over there. And within those countries, you got different ecosystems alone, not states, not like always say, this is not states, this is not cities, this is not block. Africa is a whole continent. So it makes sense that people in the north will have certain traits that's distinct from populations south, and populations south of North Africa will be distinct from populations in the eastern part of the continent, in the southern parts of the continent. So it wouldn't make sense for us to try to package Africans into one base population. I mean, this is where Homo sapiens developed at. Humans spent more time in Africa to be more diverse than populations outside of Africa. What people don't realize is that there was a bottleneck with human beings that left out of Africa. So the genetic variations that humans had out of Africa wasn't as diverse as the populations within Africa. So I mean, this guy's is breaking it down, and skin shouldn't be a barrier. Even the ancestral allele for SLC2485, if we understand GGs and AAs, the ancestral allele for that mutation was in Africa, even though certain variants arose outside of Africa 30,000 years ago before it fully kicked in on chromosome 15 around 12,000 years ago and spread it around 8,000 years ago based off postulation and following, estimating the time of the mutation and the shifts of when it predominantly took over. But what I'm saying is that even within Africa, you already had populations with light skin alleles. So
Yeah,
it's Africa should be a skin thing.
yeah, because the Lils in the first place came out of Africa. To even have those different different variations of skin tones, is dealing with the ecosystems that were there. Because how long humans been there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
People think Africa is just this one big tropical place. You got so many different ecosystems, bro. Like even in the equatorial region, the ecosystems are diverse. Even like the Horn of Africa or some areas in the Horn it's in the equatorial region, but it's different. It's exceptions in the highlands.
In
So
the
you got different
highlands.
climates. You know what I'm saying? So even some reasons that the Horn of Africa, the climate is similar to Arabia or the Middle East. That's why you can
Yeah.
still grow wheat and barley up all the way up until the Ethiopian highlands, but you can't grow it nowhere else in that south except for those regions
And
because
they
it's
got more.
cooler.
And they got them desert zones, and they got them big ass hills with an altitude. You're dealing with oxygen levels that's completely different than people in the lowlands. The different animal intake, even within a country of certain port, even within one country, you have different changes in eco zone, different eco changes in eco zones, even within one country. It's just like looking at people. This is why it's important for us to get in the field of really trying to understand science. You from the Midwest, from the Midwest. Chicago and St. Louis is not that far from one another. Y'all may go through climatic issues that's distinct from the populations. I mean, the populations over here in this portion of the Midwest in Chicago. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
imagine a big ass country like Kenya, you know, north and south of Kenya and east of Kenya. Imagine a big ass country like Egypt. The two largest countries in Africa is Algeria and Sudan. Sudan would have been number one, but they split between North and South. But now Algeria stands out more. Imagine all the different changes and ecosystem differences within those different um, countries. You see what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
People aren't ready.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. People ain't ready yet. People ain't ready. I'm finna push play and get it on. But he finna get it. He finna get it in to break down these different ethnic groups. I'm gonna say macro ethnic groups.
Very pale skin, like glow.
Grind a little bit.
To be African in order to be black. African people come in all shades of color. You can find native Africans with very pale skin, like glow in the dark pale skin, and other Africans with very deep dark skin. And between the two, there are different shades of brown. And together with that, Africa has different varieties of facial features. You can find Africans with soft features, black Africans with very sharp features, Africans with monolid eyes. I mean, the continent itself is very diverse, second only to Asia. The anthropological classification of races in Africa are divided into four major races.
And it said we got to be honest too. It says second to Asia. Asia is diverse too. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's just that Africa is genomically diverse. You know what I'm saying? Because it got a lot of the base. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Genetics or whatever. But like for us, just people groups and all that shit. Asia, you know what I'm saying? As far as diversity and ethnic groups, they take the cake. I mean, Asia is the biggest continent in the world. You know what I'm saying? You can even consider Europe really far. You can really consider Europe part of Asia. You know what I'm saying? It just really shit. It'd be like for West Asia or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Namely the Negroid or the lesser known Congoid, the Caucasoid, the Capoid, and the Mongoloids. The Negroids are further divided into the Niger-Congo groups and the
And me personally, I don't agree with the particular terms he's using. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's on point, like it's an old, outdated term, but it's still a good, him using it as as an identifier. You know what I'm saying? Me, I'll go more in depth. You know what I'm saying? Me personally on the people group, I'm gonna use terms like Negro, Congo, and stuff like that. But yeah, but he's on point though.
Nilotes. And the Caucasoids found in Africa are mostly the Afro-Asiatics, such as the Kushites, Berbers, and Arabs, and together with the Indo-European settlers such as the Boers and the Indians. And the Capoids are made up of two groups, the Khoi and the San. And lastly, the African Mongoloid people are the Malagasy people found in the island of Madagascar. Together with these people, there are also Africans with mixed heritage, such as the Cape Coloureds, the Swahilis, the Barwanis, and the Rwandans. When
You talking about the Niger Congo people. These are our people. This is where these are Western Central African populations. You know what I'm saying? This is where African Americans and most Africans of the diaspora in the Western Hemisphere, came from. Even in the the Bantus that came out of the Arabian slave trade going through the Indian Ocean. You know what I'm saying? They started even though they started off with a lot of Nilos, but eventually when the Portuguese went in southwest, not southwest, but southeast Africa, they enslaved Bantus and traded Bantus all throughout southern Asia and different Asian places in Persia and Arabia and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But most of us in the Western Hemisphere, we come from these Niger Congo speaking populations. Even AVAE, African American vernacular, the grammar that we speak is a Niger Congo grammar.
people think of Africans, they often think of the Niger Congo people. Swahili is probably the most well known African language outside of Africa, and it is a Bantu language. Bantu languages are a branch of the Niger Congo language family, in which they originated in West Africa, namely Cameroon. Although the Niger Congo Bantu people are a related group of peoples, they can vary in appearances, especially those that have mixed with neighboring non-Bantu people, such as the Rwandans and Kosas. However, these are the generalizations that sometimes signify the Niger-Congo or Bantu ancestry, and they are the most widespread group in Africa, living in the general western, central, and southern and southeastern region of the continent. However, for most part, many are about average in height to a bit shorter in stature than average. They also have wider soft facial features and are more robust built than neighboring Khoisans, Kushites, or the Nilotes. And example of the Niger-Congo tribes are the Yoruba, Igbo, Fula, Iwe, Fon, Gadagme, Shona, Sesotho, Kosa, Zulu, Akan, and Maore, together with the Luba, Kikuyus, and Sukuma, and together with the famous nature-loving pygmies. And the famous people in this group are Nelson Mandela, Dr.
In the pygmies, for the people that don't know, an audience or the little people of the forest, or these what they call Central African hunter gatherers. Also who related to the West African hunter gatherers. who were in West Africa before the Niger Congo people migrated. I did a show on that a few months ago, about a month ago. I did a show on that about the West African hunter gatherers and the Central African hunter gatherers. And yeah, those people, we don't know what language their ancestors spoke. Today they speak Niger Congo languages because Niger Congo people absorb their culture. Yeah, the Twa, the Twa people. But the Twa, to answer Jolanda, sister Jolanda, the Twa actually is we can call them the Twa because the Bantu called them the Twa the longest, but the Twa is actually a Bantu nomenclature that represents people that don't practice agricultural pastoralism. Even the Zulu, who are another Bantu speaker, they even call the Khoisan, they call them Twa as well. But the Central African hunter-gatherers were the first people that the Bantu called Twa.
Dr. King Jr., Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, Tupac Shakur, Usain Bolt, Kevin Hart, and Michael Jordan. The Kushites.
You're talking about the Kushitic population. You know what I'm saying? That these are some of the most basal, what Christopher Arab would describe as the Eritreic population. You know what I'm saying? The southern Eritreics. These will be the southern cousins to groups that later become the Egyptians, Chadic speakers and Proto-Semitic, that later become Semitic people, mixing in with even more derived Eurasians. And these people too themselves, they already have a base admixture from a Modic Moda type people who mixed with a basal Eurasian Ethio-Somali type people who came in through Arabia somewhere around 20,000 years ago.
Absolutely. And that's what we've been trying to that's what I've been trying to tell the audience. These back migrations came in different phases. So you have the earliest phase going on with them coming back in 23,000 years ago, crossing through Arabia. One article states it 24,000 years ago. I'm going to send it to you in your chat. And it crossed through, Ethiopia, near Eritrea, actually. You can see this in the shift between the Wadi Halfling group and the other group called Wadi Kenyanin, and those people were Mectoids. So it talks about this Cro-Magnon type people in North Sudan already, and then you got another layer of people that back migrated in North Africa who was partly related to the Wadi Halflands, but it's not really that. It's the northern group of the Wadi Halflands who received signals from uh, epipaleolithic Levantine groups. And that's why with the Ibero-Mauritian article, they were trying to define if the layer of them that came from the Near East were the predecessor of Natufians, or was it Natufians directly, or was it bio-directional in the sense of where it came from. But the point is that that chunk that came from the eastern portion before the other population, the Zuzana, came in and crossed through Italy or Gibraltar a very long time ago. They already had a chunk of basal Eurasian-like signals in them that mixed with motor type people. And we got to remember, if we go pre-motor, we're talking about Hadza with motor alleles. So this is why when you look at these fragmented Aterian groups that were there, you have to be very careful because there's certain signals and PCAs you may get Mbuti, you may get Yoruba as a base population. It depends on what's being used. That Hadza-like signal already carries some layers that can come off like motor with motor alleles, which is another term for armadic. So some layers of it already was layered with something that came back from that Arabian Peninsula a very long time ago. And the Zuzana groups were also a two-way street because they were a mixture between what people are labeling as basal Eurasian, and another layer was close to Epigravitetian hunter-gathering groups.
Yeah.
So so they're coming from two different directions. So Zuzana, that they found in the Lesser Caucasus area, in the Zuzana zones, this is why they gave it that label first, where you found that U6 signal at. they're telling you that that signal they already came in admixed. So you got a two-way streak of these people who had similar backgrounds and mixture, but didn't know each other directly, because this hypothetical lineage called Beta-Eurasian stretches in the Persian Gulf, and that's all the way from Arabia all the way through Iran south, right? So
Yeah.
these people didn't receive any Neanderthal signal because they dodged it from other mainland Eurasians. But all Eurasians went through a bottleneck, and they split from ancient Assyrian groups or the Musastean label, whatever they call it, that drifted over there that became the Emirate culture. These people go through a bottleneck. Some
Yeah.
people pick up signals of Neanderthal in the monad areas of Galilee. Some people go south and branch off from all of the mainland, main Eurasians or crown Eurasians, and separate themselves. Some of them find refugium back in Africa. Some of them are finding refugium in the deeper portions of the Arabian Peninsula. We have to understand, Arabia today is not the same Arabia that exists 50,000, 60,000 years ago.
Yeah.
People don't understand it. So some Eurasians who also went through this global bottleneck that most non-African populations went through, not to mention the people that left out did not have as much variations as the populations that stayed in equatorial borders. If we understand radiation, radiation damages DNA. When DNA go through this damaging, this is when you start to see a shift of mutations. In tropical zones with any organism, you have stronger signals of higher volumes of radiation, which causes higher volumes of mutations. Understand how DNA works. Populations that drift north, the Tyrians went into North Africa 150,000 years ago. I'm sorry, 130,000 years ago. They crossed from East Africa. Who was the earliest Tyrians close to? If the earlier Tyrians who drifted to North Africa 130,000 years ago, and they was absent of the later derived mutations that most populations in sub-Saharan Africa have today because of long distance of time, that means that they had to be close to a pre-Sendawi type people. And the pre-Sendawi type people give you the base split with humans that's close to those early Mbuti signals. Now, the Mbuti pygmies that we see wasn't always small because Homo
No,
sapiens
they
did not
wouldn't. They
start off.
wouldn't because
They
they
didn't start
split.
off small.
They split. They had to split from a Hadza type people, but they share that beat and
They
share certain particular
and that's what I
markers.
was getting ready to say. Pre-Hadza, pre-Zimbabwe, pre-Mbuti all fall in the same bracket. It's just that due to insulin growth factor 1 mutation and people living in rainforests, legs tend to get shorter. The people start to get smaller. The same thing with if you look at the Neanderthals and look at what happened with them in those cold forests in Europe, they had longer torsos and shorter legs compared to Homo sapiens that didn't. But I'm just using an example. So pygmies or the people that became pygmies, that's not what modern anatomic Homo sapiens developed from. The pygmies or the Mbuti group or pre-Mbuti group split from other mainland Africans, or I'm sorry, other main African populations at 100,000 years. The same thing with the Khoi before you even had the sand. Same thing with the sand before you had the Khoi that went down there. But if we want
Yeah.
to use a proxy of four populations today to represent humanity as a whole, the four base populations should be this. West African hunter gatherer, as an example, should be based off Mandinka and Yoruba like signals. Not saying it's them just using as the modern population. Central Africans should be based off Mbuti types or Baka pygmies. Pre East Africans, if we use base population, should be close to Sandawis. And the populations in South Africa should be close to what we see as Khoisan. Pre North Africans should be close to Hadza like people, which is the population that's very close to non African populations because Eurasian Adam, if we want to base it off the phylogenetic marker, was CTM168. CTM168 brother group is the BM60. BM60 and CTM168 both split from BT, which is later derived phases of ultimate A at the ultimate cuff if we really follow the shifts that occurred. It's that simple. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I want to say too. Somebody in the audience said Ethiopia is not North Africa. No, it's not. It's not just North
No,
Africa.
it's he never
It's
nobody
North.
never said that.
It's Northeast Africa. You
Right.
know what I'm
Nobody
saying?
nobody never says you gotta be we see look, Gullah, we gotta be very careful because people would think they hear some. Let's get this. Ethiopia we reclassified as sub-Saharan Africa East. But
Yeah,
within
yeah, but
sub-Saharan
it's an intermediate region between North Africa and East Africa.
East, there you
It's
go.
not it's not it's not Kenya. Kenya is East Africa. That's where East Africa begins in Kenya. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Ethiopian highlands is Northeast Africa. So it's an intermediate zone itself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it consists of the Horn of Africa, Djibouti, which is Eritrea, Ethiopia, and Somalia. You know what I'm saying, as well as Egypt, Libya, and Sudan. And that's it. That's it. That's in that particular region. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But we got to be
And,
real
and some
careful
and
because
some and sometimes certain parts of Chad is considered that too, like Eastern Chad. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, we want to be real careful because these people listen to shit and they say, oh, so if you want to say if it's south of the Sahara, yeah, some people determine say label it as sub-Saharan in that portion of Africa because it's south of the Sahara,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah,
still
yeah.
included as Northeast
But
Africa.
yeah, that's why I said it's an exceptional area in even though it's sub-Saharan, it's not the same tropical ecosystem as a certain other area.
Not at all.
It's actually a montane.
Yes,
It's a tropical mountainous region. Just to
correct.
have cooler weather. The motherfucker shit, the Ethiopia Highlands had snow one point in time. Shit. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right. That's right. You just want to be very careful, man, because they listen and
That's why you can
yeah.
still grow wheat and barley there. Because the weather's because you can grow wheat and barley in cool environments.
Uh-huh. And also, if we want to base things off the recent article, Arabian standstill, Arabia and the Levant could be looked at as Greater Africa. The
Yeah,
population that was there wasn't that far off from ancestral East Africans that they split from. I mean, even Rajiv Khan and the guy on what's the guy name, man? He was on Twitter. He talked about how the Basal Eurasians or this population sister group was a sister group to East Africans. Lazarus, the dude that we see in a lot of the studies, Lazarus, I think he's of Greek descent. He's a geneticist, and he
yeah,
explained that. So if we want to base it off of proxy, and like just like they found out how out of Africa humans migrated out of Egypt over Ethiopia, when you look at it, the Egyptians and the Ethiopians are at a distance between 15 to 20,000 years, meaning that the humans that left out of Africa, if you knock out a lot of the later derived Eurasian components in North Africans, they're split at 50,000 year base. That's the
yeah,
ending phase of the Tyrian.
yeah,
The East Africans is close to those people. It's a 65,000 year base, meaning that they are at distance only by 15,000 to 20,000 years. The West Africans that we descend from is far from the people at 70,000 years.
yeah,
You know, you
yeah.
75.
That
So it gets very tricky.
we more people that come from West Africans, for us the Afro-Asiatic groups will be the closest people out of them groups that we'll be related to is the Nomadic people themselves. You know what I'm saying? When they split off, you know what I'm saying? Some of them niggas got E1 a certain particular E1B1A marker or E1B1C. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some shit. So for some point in time, when them people were still Nilotic like or Nilo like, you know what I'm saying? They split from some type of common root. One just went west, one went east.
So
They just younger branches of a Nilo or pro some type of proto Nilo like scope of people, you know what I'm saying, in that now basin region.
and that's absolutely correct because the pre-motor, they found motor. He was, where they found the child skeleton motor in that cave. That was only 4,500 years old, but the Moda population is much older than that. That's just where they found that sample. Moda goes back to the Comarusian type people, and those Comarusians were very close to pre-Nilotics because if we want to base things off the language phylum, just using it, Eastern Sudanic languages gave rise to Proto-Afroasiatic, which in the only thing that's closest to Proto-Afroasiatic is Proto-Omotic or Proto-Motor like languages or Proto-Omotic, and that derives around 16,000 years ago linguistically. But if we go
Yeah,
back to um, Cormarusians, there's a lot of languages that died. Especially, what's the label that they use, Gullah, about the ancient North African languages that died? Roger Blinch uses
Roger
it.
Bench. Are you talking about ancient North Africa?
Ancient North African. Like, a lot of languages is absent. They no
Or
longer exist.
old North Africa. You call it
Old
old North
North
Africa.
African.
Yeah.
Right. So when we start dealing with the Onanians, who was in the Green Sahara, right, that we come from directly, just going back further in time, linguistically, it's something totally different than the genetic population. For example, E1B1A, as if we want to base it off the sex chromosome, is estimated to be 42,000 years old,
Yeah.
right? E1B1B is also 42,000 years old. They all split from E1B1. which goes back. E1B1 is between.
They had to come from some type of close populations at one point in time.
At one point in time,
Around probably that southern middle Nile basin. You know what I'm saying? Like
right?
more towards like the lakes in the southern reaches of the Nile. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there has been a lot of languages that died because when Afroasiatic arose, these paternal markers was already in existence. Like the Ibero-Maurusians had E1B1B, and they go back estimated time between 30,000 or 23,000 to around 12,000 years ago before the Capsian culture came in. The fossil that was found is 15,000 years old. The Ibero-Maurusians did not speak an Afroasiatic language. The same thing dealing with the Natufians in the
No, they
Levant.
did.
The
They did.
Natufians they didn't speak
But
they didn't speak it either.
yeah, they had to speak well a tier with the not the Tyrians, but the Ibero-Maurusians had to speak some type of like some type of old North African language.
A
But
lot of
but
language
but
when
the,
it extinct, it
but
died.
some point but before for us the Tufians uh the Natufians probably spoke some type of old proto like what based on Christopher Arab, he said they must have spoke some type of pre proto Semitic language before Semitic was even Semitic, like an old base like languages, but it was coming from the Mashubians. But the Mashubians would have mixed with some Cambrian people, but the language probably
There
would
you
have
go.
got diluted by a local language of these local West hunter gatherers. So
Correct.
whatever language in the Tufian was, it was some type of Afroasiatic creolized language. You know what I'm saying? Later on.
Yeah,
And
because here's the thing. If we're going to deal with chronology right now, so the audience can hear it. According to Roger Blench and Christopher Arrett, the oldest form of Proto-Afroasiatic starts 16,000 years. Some people say 12,000. Okay, cool.
no,
Well,
no,
Roger Blench.
Christopher Airy, he go a little bit. He said he don't really say he don't say 16,000. He say anytime before 16,000. He is
Okay,
stretching to 20. He is stretching to 20.
so let's stretch it to 20,000. Let's stretch it to 20,000, or let's also say 16,000. I think Roger Blench gave it. I think Roger Blench gave it what 12,000 or 16,000. What did he give it between that
Uh
time?
yes, about 17. Cause like even Christopher Eric, I know he stretches it to like 20,000 or something. He say 16,000. You know, he postulates it. You know what I'm saying? He
Right.
say
That's all we. That's all
16,000.
we could. That's
Yeah,
all we
he
could do.
say 60,000 the minimum, but he say, you know what I'm saying, 20 some thousand, you know what I'm saying, probably some around the max around that
So,
time.
so
Cause
that's
he
all we.
or
Mhm.
even 22,000, because I got his paper, I got his Cambridge paper. We talk
So,
about 22,000 years ago. He talking about Afroasiatic languages and how the
so,
earlier language when they split up, you know what I'm saying?
so here's the thing. That's all we could do is postulate. So let's run with that model right quick. 22,000 to 16,000. E1B1B exists another 20,000 before that. So
Yeah.
E1B1B, they didn't speak that language at first. You see what
Nah,
I'm
they
saying?
didn't. They didn't.
And and what
I think it had to been like some type of old language that probably was closer to the Nilo languages. You know what I'm saying? More so because they the older basal branch. They start
it,
branching off from different ways and shit.
it had to be because E really penetrates. See, the Tyrian culture gets really, really vague because they wasn't even one population. It was another population of niggas who migrated into North Africa after the Tyrian culture and added on around 40,000 years ago. And those are the Cormarusians. And
Mm-hmm.
The Mushabians who come out of those Cormarusians and the Helflins who come out of those Cormarusians, all were the ones with the predecessors of that E1B1B shit. Even when some of us went through the Sahel as
Yeah, they,
E1B1A,
they, they came up to that Red Sea Hill area. You know what I'm
right?
saying?
So,
They basically was them. They basically was them North Eritrea populations bringing in that motor like shit. You know what I'm saying? And the Ethio-Somali component from Arabia,
right.
and mixing in with some other, you know what I'm saying, groups that was already up north. You know
So,
what I'm saying, lingering back and forth from North Africa to the Levant.
So now we get into the idea of a good proxy of how Afroasiatic formed, because if you got pre-motor groups talking the language, right, that's absent of farming and absent of pastoralism, but still carry syntax and cognates that you find in Afroasiatic. But we're going to talk about the pre-motor like languages, right? And then you got an isolated group that was in the Levant that's aboriginal, that splits from you have the Levantine Aggregatians, you have the Amharians, you have the Cabrians, right? These people had enough time in the Levant to have an isolated, distinct language family that's extinct that merged with these pre-motor groups. So what we're
Yeah,
seeing is,
yeah, yeah.
so
Because
what we see,
the language took different evolutionary steps. You know what I'm
right?
saying? Like when it went through as it went kept going up north. You know what I'm saying? Especially through the Levant. You know what I'm saying? It started developing more derived agricultural terms. You know
Correct.
what I'm saying? That's why you find that's why Amadic stands out because you don't like you
You don't
find
find
every
those
other
terms.
you find every
That's
other
right.
term, but the agricultural terms in that
So
language.
so
But you
so
find
here's
but you
so
find like old stuff that have to do with like bee agriculture or bee like stuff they got to do with like hunting and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely,
Base language. I
absolutely,
mean,
and
or
so
base words. I mean,
so the whole gram of Afroasiatic moves in a circle before, the only people that brought Afroasiatic in the western part of North Africa was the Capsian groups. The Ibero-Maurusians didn't speak that. They had a longer run up there. But a part of the Ibero-Maurusian DNA was a cousin group to the Capsian groups who turned around and repopulated them. But my point is that the circle for Afroasiatic starts between Eritrea, northern Ethiopia, lowland Kushitics, upper Egypt, North Sudan, all through Egypt, the Levant, and the western portion of Arabia. That right there is the major base of an in and out exit for this language family to spread in multiple directions in between North Africa and between the Middle East as it spread. That right there. That's why the Natufians are so important. That's why when you go back, when they come out with this study that's coming out in 2025, based off the abstract that was slightly revealed in 2023, it's talked about how people in Upper Egypt, or one of the fossils, I think the zone was Neckham. I think that's the place. And it was saying how it was Natufian like. Those type of people had a longer run in that portion of Africa, way longer than any other people playing. And you do have some in the further south pre
yeah, them
Nilotic like
people, yeah,
groups.
them people was up there. Them people was up there before Afro-Asiatic people even migrated up there from
Yeah.
Red Sea Hill regions and shit. You know what I'm
So
saying?
so yeah. And the Nilotic, remember the oldest Nilotic skull like Wadi Hafla that was found. Of course, you had Nilotes that was found in northern Sudan, and some of them people even drifted. If you look at the oldest, if you can go to Wiki to give you the citation, the oldest Nilotic populations. So no one's denying that element. It's just that when you tell people that the modern humans over there are not a replica of all of those human experiences that bridged together thousands of years ago, and you say that that's not that, they're just some recent invaders, that's problematic. That's
Yeah,
pseudo.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna push play on the video.
Go
Continue.
ahead, go ahead.
Then we can go in even more. I got that wiki article too. We can get it in with the genetic history of Africa. It's like a broad view of everything that we talking about.
The native people in the Horn of Africa, such as Somalia, Djibouti, Ethiopia, and Eritrea, speak a Cushitic language, together with minorities speaking Cushitic
And to the audience, I'm continuing. They were talking about the Kushitic groups of Afro-Asiatic speakers.
languages in countries such as Sudan, aka the Nubians, the south of Egypt, Kenya, and Tanzania. Despite the misconceptions about these people, they are not mixed with modern racial groups. They originated in the Horn of Africa, thus an ancient group indigenous to the area. They tend to be tall, slender, with sharp aquiline Caucasoid features, and often have curly to wavy hair texture. And the example of Cushitic tribes are the Somali, Borana, Rendile, Afar, Orma, Sakuye, Boni, Wata, Yaaka, etc., etc. Genetically closer to the Kushites but are the South Semitic people. South Semitic is a putative branch of the Semitic languages, which forms a branch of the larger Afro-Asiatic language family found in North and East Africa and Western Asia. So the tribes that speak the South Semitic language are the
He talking about like northern Ethiopians, you know what I'm saying, the Ethio-Semitic speakers. They originally spoke a Kushitic language, you know what I'm saying, but they you know, they intermarried and intermixed with old South Arabians like the Sabians and you know, different people from South Arabia. They developed Ethio-Somali, not Ethio-Somali, but Ethio-Semitic language. You know, but the base language is still Aga. You know what I'm saying? They originally spoke like an Aga type languages, which is still spoken today, which is a northern or it's a central Cushitic language.
Amharics of Ethiopia and the Tigrinyas of Ethiopia and Eritrea. And the famous people from this group are Nipsey Hussle, The Weeknd, Ilhan Omar, Haile Selassie, and Farhad Abdi. Khoisan.
One of the Khoisan people.
The Khoi and the San, they are the people that live in Namibia, Botswana, Angola, Zambia, Lesotho, Zimbabwe, and South Africa. They tend to have epicanthic folds, almond-shaped eyes, lighter skin, high cheekbones, and shorter stature. They are sometimes said to resemble East Asia. They speak languages that belong to the Khoisan language family that has some clicking sounds and nowadays said to be an invalid grouping as Khoisan languages are more diverse than previously believed. They are believed to be the native people in East and South Africa. To this day, the numbers are quite low, and some of them believed to be extinct in their indigenous lands, losing to the technically superior Bantu migration, or in the case of the Xhosa people of South Africa, intermarriages. So the famous Khoisan people are Niksau, Arios, and Nades. Anyways, I've just mentioned the cast of The Gods Must Be Crazy. If you haven't seen that movie, believe me, you won't regret it. The Amazigh people. So, these people refer to themselves as Amazigh for a
These are, you know, the North African populations. And now people have to get their head wrapped around that no matter how these people look, these people are cousins and related to them same other people that we just showed, them Cushitic populations. You know, so they just got a, you know, slightly more derived, you know, Eurasian genetics, you know, so from back migrations. But at the end of the day, they base substratum is relative to them same people that we showed earlier, the Cushitic population.
And they've been looking like this for a very long time. And for anybody to insult them and say because they have fairer skin that they're invaders and belittle them, they got to be debunked. You know what I'm saying? These people have been looking like this for a very long time.
Most definitely. North Africa, it has moderate, you know, UV radiation. So you're gonna have, you know what I'm saying, this to be able to you'll be able to maintain and maintain in those regions, you know what I'm saying, with the lighter skin tone.
And skin color
or moderate. I ain't gonna say lighter, I'm gonna say moderate skin tone. Because lighter can be even more extreme. But then you get more moderate skin tone. It ranges, you know what I'm saying, from
and skin color can flickle. Skin color can flickle backwards and forward because if we use an example, the skin map and the reflectives of how light works, zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, populations in tropical Africa, zone 1, they have to have extremely dark skin to protect them from ultraviolet radiations compared to populations in arid zones north, zone 2. The skin color will be very similar to populations you find in Southern Europe or the Middle East. It will make sense, but just not using that. you can see certain points that if you know what population should be like as an example on that, because it tend to show like people as being
Yeah,
brown in certain areas. But
yeah.
these people have been
Eh,
looking like this.
yeah, for thousands of years. And I was gonna say too, that not even just I was gonna say even not even just for North Africa. You know what I'm saying? The Kushitic populations, them groups, they related to Semitic speakers. They related to Asians too. You know what
But
I'm saying?
you know what's crazy though?
Yeah,
If you look at the skim map, zone one, zone South Africa, past equatorial zone one, their climate is similar to zone two.
yeah,
And look at what the Khoisan skin is like, and look
yeah.
at the
How light
population
they can
further
be.
north.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
Uh-huh.
it wouldn't make sense for a nigga, and I'm just saying this from our angle, to look like a tropical Congoid man living in those zones in zone two in further North Africa than the Mediterranean. Why would they look like that? Now, of course, when you get towards North Sudan, you know what I'm saying, this melanin is going to express itself at a higher content. I mean, you're going at the base of the south and you're going closer to those stronger equatorial zones. But when you get toward that north, why would you have to look like a person in Cameroon or Angola or even the
Yeah,
Dinka? That's not a good proxy. That's not a good
yeah.
proxy. So these
And
people been
like
there, skin color can go backwards and forward, bro. If we understand parallel evolution with how organisms work, parallel evolution, or even the sense of if people don't know the difference between convergence or parallel, or when Shamaka Keta talked
mhm.
about polytopicity,
Polytypicity, yeah.
like we have to be very careful and very careful when we see things like this brother up here that we see and say, oh, he's an invader. That's insane. That's nonsense.
You can't say invader because even the word term invader is a militaristic term. You know what I'm saying? When the people from Kerma came up to Egypt, they were invaders to Thebes. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They damn near beat the brakes off of Thebes. You know what I'm saying? They were definitely invaders. So I'm gonna push play. And two, I would say and two, shoot the Bantu people. You gonna call them you can call them invaders to the people in Central Africa. It's like even before then, like the reason why people think the Bantu or is the African is because of the Bantu expansion in the people expanding and multiplying their populations. You know what I'm saying? Before then, you know what I'm saying? Before uh 3500 BCE, you know what I'm saying, Central Africa and certain parts of West South Africa was sparsely populated by hunter gatherers. You know what I'm saying? When the Bantus came in with that, agriculture and pastoralism, duplicate, you know what I'm saying, or multiplied their population and became one of the most numerous populations on the African continent. That's why, you know what I'm saying, Niger Congo is the biggest language family now because of the Bantu.
Singular male, Tamazigh for a singular female or referring to their language, and Imaziren for the plural. They are the indigenous people of North Africa, stretching from Morocco to the west part of Egypt, to Burkina Faso and back to Mauritania. And back to their naming, there is also a debate about the literal meaning of Amazigh. Some say it means nobleman, others say it means freeman. So the physical characteristics of the Amazigh people are distinguished from the other ethnic groups are their build and skin color. They have slight builds and their skin tone can be anywhere from white to near white to dark brown. The Berbers have intermingled with many other ethnic groups, most commonly the Arab.
You see how some of them still look like horners a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You still see that, you know what I'm saying, in and out their population or their gene pool.
Arabs. And what distinguishes between a North African Arab and a North African Berber is the shape of the eyes. Most Berbers have small almond-shaped hooded eyes, and Arabs have large almond-shaped eyes. So the example of Berbers with very pale complexions are the Kabyle Berbers and the Rifian Berbers. And other groups with not so pale complexions are the Tuaregs and the Zayanis, together with the Mozambique Berbers. And famous Amazigh people are Zedin Zedan, Pope Gelasius I, King Masan Sen, and King Jugurtha, together with Karim Benzema and Samir Nasri. The Arabs of North Africa are divided into two, the Maghrebi Arabs and the Egyptians. Mind you, Arab is a pan-ethnicity and it is also a modern identity. So, the Egyptian Arabs are an ethnic group native to the Nile Valley in Egypt. And the Egyptian identity is closely tied to geography. The population is concentrated in the Nile Valley, and the North African Arabs are the melting point of the people that conquered that region, and they are heavily mixed. So the Arabs in the Maghreb are not native in the region, but the Egyptian Arabs are natives in Egypt.
Yeah, you see what he's saying? The Egyptian Arabs are native in Egypt because they was Arabized. Even the Arab, that's what makes Arabic the Egyptian Arabic unique. Even though it's Arabic, it's like a creolized Arabic. Like I was just talking to my Egyptian brother earlier before the show, my brother Ramesses. And we was talking about how his Arabic, even though he speak Arabic, the Egyptian Arabic still, just like Coptic, it still have the original Egyptian languages as its base language. You know what I'm saying? It just became Arabized and creolized. But the base languages is still like that old indigenous Egyptian language. So them people can't say them people Arabs, even though even if they speak Arabic languages, because they base substratum languages is still the ancient Egyptian or vestiges of the ancient Egyptian languages, just been Arabized. Same way Coptic was influenced by Greek.
So yeah, I wanted to say too, Gullah Geechee, some of the I want the audience to understand that even though a lot of the Egyptians are Arabized in culture, they are still Egyptians. The
Yep,
closest thing to the
yep.
actual Egyptian language are the Copts. So the Coptic people there still speak the intact language, even though it's a later phase of it. After Demonic, you have Metaneta, Hieratic, and then you have Demonic, and then after Demonic, you have what we find in Coptic. Coptic literally means Egyptian. So even the Egyptianized Arabs are still Coptics because Copt means Egyptians. They are still Egyptian. So
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was saying. Like even that Arabic that they speak still have Coptic or Egyptian in it. It still got the language. That's what makes Egyptian Arabic unique to other Arabic varieties because it still got that Egyptian languages or the indigenous Egyptian languages within that Arabic variety of language.
Speaking of, there are also minority Arab communities in sub-Saharan Africa, such as the Lebanese in West Africa and the Yemenite Omani Arabs in the Swahili coast, and Somalia, together with the Rashida Arabs in the Sudan and Eritrea. So the North African and Egyptian Arabs can come in very pale skin to very dark skin, and they are of average height and build, and they have sharp Caucasoid facial features together with large almond-shaped eyes.
And when they say Caucasoid, I don't agree with the particular term, but they talking about a skull type, for the audience. You know what I'm saying? I'll prefer the term aquiloid features or narrow features.
Thick, coarse hair and eyebrows, and hair textures can vary from curly to wavy to straight. And when it comes to eye colors, many Arabs have different colored eye colors. There are some with green, gray, hazel, black, and brown. And famous African Arabs are Muhammad Salah, Gamal Abdel Nasser, Nina Masood, Rami Malek, French Montana, and Muhammad Gad.
And I disagree with that. French Montana is a Berber, Amazigh. He got some Arabic, mixed with Arabic in his ancestry. And Gaddafi, you know what I'm saying? But
Gaddafi's definitely Amazigh.
Amazigh,
He made a mistake with that
he
one.
made a
Cause looking
mistake
at
on this video.
because looking at Gaddafi eyes, you can see the eyes is shaped like most Amazigh people. So Gaddafi,
He shot himself in the foot on that. Remember he said earlier that the Amazighs got small, narrow eyes. And look at his eyes.
yeah, he shot himself on that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was that right. Yeah.
Gaddafi. The Nilotes. Nilotes are people who speak Nilotic languages, a branch of the Nilo-Saharan language family that originated in the Nile Valley. They predominantly live in South Sudan.
And this will brother BR will be, you know what I'm saying, part of these populations. And even some of us, we have a little Nilo, you know what I'm saying, or more contemporary Nilo in our population through the sun god, you know what I'm saying, who assimilated amongst Niger Congo people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kenya and Uganda. They tend to be the tallest group in Africa, particularly the Dinka. And they are a stately people with deep skin tones, soft and round features, long and slender limbs, and almond-shaped eyes. The Maasai, however, tend to have sharper facial features as a result of mixing with neighboring Kushitic people. Most photos of Africans people will see often the Maasai people because they are well known for sticking to their traditional clothing and lifestyle. So, example of the Nilotic people are the Maasai, Teso, Samburu, Turkana, Dinka, Nuer, Shilluk, and the Luo. And famous Nilotic people are Lupita Nyong'o, Adut Akech, Duki Thought, and Koth Wiel, together with Aheu Deng.
You seen his show, Barack Obama Nilo Sahari. He's a lot of for real.
Yeah, his people, Luya.
Yeah, Luya, yeah, he get his African American roots from his mama's side. His mama is a descendant of John Punch. You know what I'm saying? John Punch descendants just, kept, interbreeding, in more, European gene pool, or probably those mixed children, you know what I'm saying, kept intermarrying with Europeans.
Like the Melungeons today.
Yeah, most definitely.
The Malagasy people. They are an Austronesian-speaking ethnic group indigenous to the island country of Madagascar. Traditionally, the population have been divided by subgroups, tribes, or ethnicities. Examples.
And what's amazing even about the Malagasy people, you know what I'm saying, they come from Austronesians coming from, Eastern Asia. They populated Madagascar before any indigenous African ever did, even before the Bantu got to Madagascar. Like Madagascar was like completely, not inhabited by humans until they got there. And they would be like the same sort of same this like a I guess what I say a Western migration split from the same migration going east, like the Polynesians. These would be related to the same Polynesian type groups, you know what I'm saying, or cousin or sister branch to Polynesians, them both, or Austro-Asian language.
Include the Highlanders, Austronesians, which is Indonesian, Polynesian, Micronesian, with less Bantu and Melanesian admixture, such as the Merina and Betsileo of the Central Highlands. Around the Antananarivo, Alaotra, and Fianarantsoa are the coastal dwellers. which are ethnically Bantu and Melanesian with less Austronesian or Indonesian admixture. So, Malagasy people are a mixed people, a mixture of the Austronesians and the Bantus. They look in quote-unquote Blasians. Depending to their admixture, they might look similar to an average Malaysian.
They're like an island full of Tiger Woods. they all, they mix with Bantu and Asian.
Or similar to an average Bantu. The Boers, which means husbandman or farmer in Dutch. They are the settlers of South Africa of Dutch, German, Huguenot descent, especially one of the early settlers of the Transvaal and the Orange Free State. Today, the descendants of the Boers are commonly referred to as Afrikaners. So, the Afrikaans is the primary language spoken by the Boers. The language originated from the Dutch dialect spoken by the Dutch East India Company, officials, soldiers, and the settlers who arrived at the Cape of Good Hope in the mid-17th century. So the Afrikaners are of the Germanic stock, and they have the highest percentage of blonde hair of all Europeans. Their nose is pointy and their skin tone is pinkish pale. Compared to other Europeans, their forehead is taller, thicker, and more vertical, and their height can vary from tall to average. And famous Afrikaners are Elon Musk, Charlize Theron, Arnold Vosloo, and Daniel Bonjour. So, let's go to the mixed people in Africa. Let us start with the Rwandans. They are Bantu people who are mixed with the Kushites. Then there are the Kosa people. They are the Bantu people who are mixed with the Khoisan, together with the Fulani people. They are the Niger-Congo people mixed with the Chadic people and sometimes the Tuaregs. Then there are the Swahili. The Swahili people are a mixture of Arabs and Bantus, mostly found in coastal towns around East Africa, such as Zanzibar.
And I don't quite agree what he said about the Fulani either. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was on point, like how they all mixture, but how he said it, you know what I'm saying, how they combine. They mix with Tariq and people like that a little bit later.
Yeah, he made that up. Not to mention, they try to include Pula with the Fula. I mean, with the Chadic,
Yeah,
and
Chad, yeah.
even the Hausa was conquered by the Fulani. That's why they call them Hausa Fulani.
Yeah, if I was Fulani, yeah.
And the people play games with them, and they also were enslaved. You know, it's people like you got this dude named Alchemist Sufi. He's not even Fulani. He's not Pula, and he online, and he's actually biracial. His mother's European, his father's some type of black African from the Caribbean. I'm sure, like most Africans of the diaspora, he have some Fulani in him, but he's overtly saying that he's, Fula, and he's trying to make it sound like the Fulani is the supreme race that was never enslaved, and he embraces this black thing, but he insults other black groups, especially the Mandinka. Niggas don't even understand
Yeah.
it's Fulani genetics.
Wow, it's crazy. It's crazy. Well, yeah, man, because even like he said, the Chadic would be related to the Fulani. Like you said, they had meet back up later on, but the layer of the Nilo-Saharan group that they you know what I'm saying, that they had the same common ancestors to that connection. You know what I'm saying? Those same Western Sahelian Nilo-Saharan type populations would went into the Fulani and also went into the the Chadic group. You know what I'm saying? They would have a common root. You know what I'm saying, from that level.
And the Fulani is an ethnic group. We're fairly new.
Yeah.
We're not talking about. You're not talking about the people that we not no fucking 10,000 years old. We're not no 12,000
Nope.
years old. Even a recent article when it talks about the Fulani is the old, the people of the Green Sahara.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, they didn't call themselves Fulani. Fulani is something that formed and was shaped from population drifters from the old Sahara to the
In the
Sahel,
Senegambia. Yeah.
and then they merged into in Senegal with the Siri groups that was intermediate that's close to Wolof, and even the Serer is close to a base population that's pre-Mindy like. They merged with them people, accumulated traits, drifted back through the Sahel, picked up Niger Congo language, formed Pula, then they mixed with a few of those populations that was Amazic like in the north, further north, and they picked up that LCT gene, the lactase consistent gene, when they're able to deal with milk. So the Pula are not homogenous. So when people play with them, and this guy, not just him, he didn't do it intentionally. People have to be very careful because they're extremely West Africans, extremely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, and I know them languages are on some level probably more related to Mende too because the Cadofian language is close to Mende because they represent a more of some basal branches of Proto-Niger Congo sibling or descendants. Because you still got some Cadofian languages, some are more related to Mende, and then some are more related to Atlantic Congo. You hear me, go?
Yeah, yes, I did hear you. Yes, I
Yeah,
did hear you.
yeah, yeah. I'm finna,
I was gonna say something. I see the doctor, and he said, "How come we didn't say nothing about the Egyptian swine?" First, let me just say this, Doc. No one's denying any integration that occurred with the Egyptian Arabs. But what we're saying is that even with the Egyptian Arabs, who are culturally Arab, their overall DNA composition isn't to knock them off from being Egyptian. And if you look at the Egyptian Copts, yes, the Egyptian Copts are the oldest in that region. You guys do not have a lot of integration from Arabs at all. You isolated. Some of you guys even found refugium in Sudan, North Sudan. Um, but what I'm saying is the surrounding population that did receive some Arab traits, it wasn't enough to knock out the Egyptians and say, oh, they're not Egyptian no more. The overall, based off the examples that was used, it's at 17%. The overall DNA composition is still consistent, even though you guys have a higher percentile that's more indigenous to the area. So I
yeah.
mean, I understand. People got to understand where the doctor's coming from because Arabs did persecute them.
Should I
Egyptian
should I
Arabs,
work?
Egyptians persecuted them. Hmm.
I'm like shit. I work with a brother from Egypt. His name Abraham and shit. He copped. He a Christian. He speak Arabic and everything. You know what I'm saying? He speak the Arabic language, but he a Christian. But he speak Egyptian. He speak Egyptian Arabic. You know what I'm saying? Because Egyptian Arabic still base stratum is Coptic anyway.
Yeah, it's still Coptic. Not to mention Coptic. The Coptic Christians kept their culture and identity intact as far as language, but to try to down the surrounding population because they have small integration is problematic. I mean, this I do understand where he's coming from because Arabized Egyptians persecuted his people. But at the end of the day, that line has to be blurred when it comes to looking at the genetics. Those people that's Egyptianized, Arabian Egyptians or Arabized Egyptians are not Arabs. There's a far distant genetic signature between modern Egyptian Arabs and regular Saudi Arabs. It's
Yeah,
far.
yeah,
I mean, you got the Saidi, you got the Fellaheen, you got the Copts, you got the Beja in the north. I mean, in the south, in between the eastern
yeah.
deserts.
You got the Gurna, the
You
Fila.
got the Gurna. All of you guys make up Egypt, regardless of what people look like.
Hmm.
The
Yeah, you got
Beladi.
yeah, you got what they call the Fila people. Yeah, all them people. Yeah, people from Siwa. Even though the people of Siwa, even though they down predominantly Bama Zeke, they still got a lot of indigenous Egyptian in them too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm finna go on. Let me see what I'm going on. Shit, let me see if anybody want to add coming to the audience. Let me see. I'm gonna add this. I'm gonna add the link to the audience. See anybody want to come in.
Hey, doctor, we never said they was ethnic groups. We just talked about the populations that was there. Egyptians are Egyptians. We're not getting into ethnic wars. We never said that they were separate ethnic
Yeah,
groups.
he must be drunk in there, but he tripping to
No,
my
we never said
Egyptian.
nothing about ethnic.
To my
I
some.
didn't say anything about ethnic groups.
Now that
I
dude,
didn't
now
do
that
that.
dude in there tripping goes. He's talking about some cops, the oldest ethnicity in Africa. He in there tripping, trolling.
Here's the thing. He believes that he's an Egyptian nationalist. So if that's what he wants to say, that's fine. But no one's. For me, no one's saying that none of those people are different ethnic groups, and no one can say a Fellahin and a Saadi is different ethnic groups. We didn't say that. I don't know what you're hearing. And yes, the Coptic people linguistically kept the language intact, but Coptic, even though it's closest to the original Egyptian language, there has been some changes because Medu Neter, then you got the Heretic phase, then you have the Demotic phase, then you have the Coptic phase. So yes, it's extremely Egyptian, but there has been small shifts that occurred. It's no longer completely like the original, but it is original. It's kind of like paradoxal if you study Medu Neter or the glyphs that you guys had. So no, but nobody's saying that these are separate ethnic groups. I wouldn't play that when it comes to Egypt. So I don't know why he brought up ethnic groups.
Yeah, yeah. Fila do mean peasants. You know what I'm saying? During the Turkish period, but a lot of the peasants, motherfuckers, was indigenous Egyptians. So you can't wrap your head around that. I ain't even call this man no doctor either. I don't know what he is. He could be Doctor. He could be Dr. Dre. All I know, shit. I just added the Zoom. I just added the link in the chat. Anybody want to add on to the panel? I'm going on this Christopher Arab book too, man. He be going. Oh, Dr. Banoob in the building. You finally came on somebody on panel, bro. What's up with it? I feel honored. Shit, you won't come on nobody on panel.
I
Yo, what's up, Doc? Go ahead, Doctor. We hear
hey,
you.
I
Hey,
just
what's up, brother?
I just want to let you know. You probably read it already, but fellahin are just term for peasants, farm workers.
Yeah, I know.
Anyone could be fellahin. You could be a Coptic fellahin, or you could be an
You could be
Egyptian
a Turk. You
Muslim
could be a Turk.
fellahin. It's just a general word. Same as
Yeah.
Saidi. It just means a
Upper
that you live in
Egyptian.
Upper Egypt.
All
That's all.
right. Yeah, the people of Ghana. Yeah, but they're all Egyptian. We agree with
Yes,
you on that.
Yeah,
right. There's no difference.
we just recognizing that the indigenous population or indigenous or in these groups or these these titles or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. There's just a title, but it could be pejorative when you say fellahin. Fellahin, because usually they'll say that they're uneducated and they're just field workers. Same thing like in where I live in San Diego. When you call when the Mexican people call the dark skinned people, what's that word?
Moreno.
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 Yeah.
Moreno.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're just dark skinned, it's similar with the Saidis at least. And then let me just continue. Saidis also could be pejorative because usually when you say someone is Saidi, you're saying they're stubborn and they don't want to learn anything. So just a little background.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But and I appreciate you, Doc. But one thing I
Sure.
wanted to ask you,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, all of those groups are still Egyptian. Would you agree?
Yeah. There. It's just like a falah is a farmer. So that's just basically what it is. But there's some pejorative connotations to it as well. It's not
Yeah.
it's not a distinct population really.
Yes.
Most Egyptians would be farmers, like the ancient Egyptians. Most of them were farmers. So
Absolutely.
right.
Absolutely. And I was trying to tell you, Doc. Yeah, I don't know if you heard, but me and Gullah we wasn't saying that you guys had different ethnic groups. We wouldn't even do that here. Like we wouldn't
Okay.
separate you guys.
No,
Like
I
we wasn't saying that.
misunderstood. All right, then I
Yeah.
misunderstood. Yeah, but the videographer that you were using, he was calling us Egyptian Arabs, and that's insulting to even the Egyptian Muslims. Maybe in the past they were more they identified because of Islam with the Arabs, but as time has progressed, they want to identify as Egyptian and not Arab. The
That's
Egypt
true.
the Arabic part is just a language to them, and that's the same thing with
Yeah,
our
yeah,
the
yeah.
Copts. It's just a language.
It's a language, y'all, because y'all recognize y'all did y'all. That's what I was saying. Like
Yeah.
even that's what I was saying. Like even the variety of Arabic that y'all speak is still like
Yes,
Coptic based or indigenous based.
it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like there's we would say Nunu in Egyptian Arabic, and that's baby talk.
Yeah,
That's the ancient Egyptians would say that, and
yeah.
that carried over into I had a cousin, and my uncle would just call him Nunu for short, like little baby, and that's something common. That's just an example off the top of my head.
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
an
that
ancient
makes sense.
Egyptian word, Coptic.
I'm honored, man. I'm
Yeah.
honored you came on, man. The Al Jahees, we brought out Dr. Banu, man. You don't never come on nobody.
Well, now that I know how to use this, I'm a little stubborn too, trying to figure out new technology to me. So now that
Yeah.
see how easy it is, I can do it.
Hey, Dr. Banu, we definitely would like to have more of you. I know you, I don't know if you ever had time, but it'd definitely be good
Mm.
that you can join these conversations, especially people that think they fully understand your glyphs. Your point was proven on Kumant. I think Brother Chef, he wanted to talk about that on the show tomorrow if you come on, but we
Yeah, no,
definitely would like
I
to
like
learn more
listening to
about.
you guys. You guys are, you have mostly based information, scientifically based. It's just little things here and there that I find that you might not be aware of that I like to bring up.
Bring it up, brother. We all willing to
Yeah,
learn. Whatever you got, just bring it to us so we can all learn, man. Each one teach
cool.
one around here.
Yeah,
Yeah, bro.
yeah. No, you guys are doing a good job. So carry on.
All
Yeah,
right, all
bro.
right. Thanks, Doc.
All right, bye.
Peace.
Brother Psionic in the building.
Ma salama.
Salam, bro.
Salam, mashallah. What's good with a Psionic, bro?
Salam alaikum. Asianic, what's up, Aki?
Yeah, so Box, what's good with it?
I don't know if he's still on.
He probably getting this thing together. I'm trying to look in this Christopher Arab book. What he talk about? He was talking about the Kadan culture. He was talking about how to.
Hey, Gullah, they definitely have to include the doctor more because he know a lot about his history, and I
He
think that
do, he do,
he
he
should be
do.
in the
He just
conversations.
he
He
just
dope.
be he just be trolling. I know he be trolling now. Like, oh, okay, he be trolling this shit.
Yeah, he know his stuff though.
Yeah, he know his shit.
Hey, Gullah, let me when IY Sonic get on, I'm finna get these. I gotta get these bags, and I'm gonna jump back on.
All
So
right,
I'm waiting for IY Sonic. So I'm in and out.
okay. All right,
Uh,
man. So, who other Pacific people who brought the economy. So let me see where we at with it. Trying to see because he talked with Christopher Eric talk about some of the people or societies that were already in North Africa as the Afro-Asiatic populations migrated up north from the Red Sea Hill regions. Let me see. Is this the part where he said most directly relevant in ancient Egyptian history. The finds at Laga Oda date to the millennium immediately preceding the spread of the new kind of substance to Egypt. In Egypt, this new economic orientation arrived 1,000 years later with a calibrated dating of around 15,000 BCE. It came with the arrival of Athenian culture along the upper and middle Egyptian Nile and closely related Kadan culture in the adjacent Lower Nubia. And they say,
Peace, Gullah.
oh, what's up with it, man?
Not much, my brother. I want to say this.
Happy New Year to
You,
you, dog.
Happy New Year's, bro. You going live has made my night. Thank you.
Oh yeah, yeah. Are you like the show earlier?
Bro, I loved it. I'm learning. I'm also like due to your previous suggestions of reading books, same as Ngozi,
Yeah,
I read. And sometimes everything I read, I don't always share because I want to be inclusive and I want to understand the fact that people are not on the same level. And I'd rather be personal and let you guys teach.
yeah.
You were cooking.
Right on, bro.
I'm in chat just cheering on like a damn cheerleader.
Right on, bro. Right
But
on, bro.
no skirt though. Bro, when you go live, I truly learn and I enjoy it. I know the doctor's not on here anymore, but what I want to say is I really appreciate the fact that he hit the link. Much respect to him.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I respect. I got way more respect for Doctor Manu, man. When he jumped on the panel, I'm like, man, he don't never. I ain't never. I thought, like, man, this dude don't never jump on nobody. He must be a coward or something. He jumped on the channel. He came in, so he know his stuff too.
No, I respect that.
Yeah,
Gala, I want to show that for me, I feel like I'm fighting on two fronts. I'm fighting against the Afrocentric people who want to take Egypt out of Africa, and also fighting against those so-called people who want to call themselves North Africans, Egyptians, who are racist, who want to make a divide and don't also understand the research themselves.
yeah,
So, and Ngozi's off right now, but I was telling him earlier, I, I from my region, you know where I'm from. I love my
yeah,
culture and everything. The only reason why I connect myself to North Africa is to show the nuances, the genetics, and the linguistic connection to people who are in the Western world that want to divide, let's say, people who are of the sub-Saharan Africa from North Africa to say there are nuances. Sometimes
yeah.
you guys are correct,
It's
but other times you
nuance.
guys are wrong.
That's why I say. That's why I say like the Horn of Africa is a nuance in itself. That's why I said earlier. That's why I mentioned. I said the Horn of Africa is not just East Africa. It's not just North. It's North. It's Northeast Africa exclusive. You know what I'm
We're
saying?
cooking.
It's an intermediate region. You know what I'm saying? Or even sometimes it's called Northern East Africa. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just East Africa, it's the northern reaches of East Africa. So it still has some type of pipeline with North Africa anyway. You know what I'm saying?
This is why I sit back when you speak and I want to learn for the most part. And then there is other Africans that want to take that region and the connection and want to displace the people who are from the north. And then to them, what I say is this: North Africa is North with capital letters, Africa. They are Africans. Modern
Mm-hmm.
Egyptians are the ancient Egyptians. And
Yeah.
if you want to disqualify them, what you're going to do is you're going to start taking out people from the Horn and Eastern Africa, from the south, from the region. Just because of your own bias, you're first going to start with them, and then you're going to disqualify people from other regions from Northeast Africa.
Yeah, it don't make sense to me. Like they accept a Puerto Rican. You know what I'm saying? Like that's basically how, you know what I'm saying, how Egypt, you know what I'm saying, certain places in Northeast Africa is. It's kind of like how Dominican Republic or Puerto Rico is. You know what I'm saying? But they might have the Eurasian affinities, but they still got like African affinities too as well. You can see it mixed all in.
I 100%
It,
agree. And I
you
have
know,
to ask, do they understand that themselves?
yeah, I see that on my screen.
Yep.
That's an Egyptian right there.
And
He look just like a damn Dominican or a Puerto Rican or something. He could be pass for a Puerto Rican. He could be a Cuban.
Exactly. Just look at his hair, look at his face, look at the
Yeah,
skin color.
even his hair is straight, but it's like it's not the same texture as a European. It's still like even though it's straighter, it's not kinky, but it's woolly. It's
Yes.
woolly, but it's not kinky. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Gullah, can I just say one thing? Because he doesn't look Bantu doesn't mean that he's not African.
Yeah,
That is just one group of Africans. Africa is a damn continent, and that continent is way bigger than America.
way bigger,
Like
way bigger.
like
Just like
5 times or more bigger.
yeah, the same way you could have the Mongols, and then you could have people from the Indus Valley. You know what I'm saying? Be all being Asian, but they all come from different populations of gene pools.
No, I agree. If you look at a Pakistani or Indian today, and then you look at someone from China, Japan, they're all from Asia, but they look different.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
why are you disrespecting Africa? I'm lost. Sometimes what I'm gonna say is this: the people who most disrespect Africa are Africans from the diaspora who are in America.
Hmm.
There are some of you that are true teachers, and Ngozi, Gala, and some others. Juju is an amazing person for that as well. What I'm gonna say is this: the rest of y'all, somebody said this before, and I don't want to name them, but y'all making us black folks look bad.
Real, real.
Stop assuming that one subgroup is all of Africa. Africa is very diverse, and I'm saying
Very
this as someone
diverse.
who's from the damn continent.
Yeah, I
I'm
was
from
on. I was on. Man, I couldn't even do it no more, man. I had to jump off his channel. I said, "Bro, you my dog, but I can't rock with you no more. You start reading more." Super wave, man. The dude talking about some. He said Africa ain't diverse, and it's like, bro, what are you saying? Like, you ignorant. You don't read, bro. How can you say Africa is not diverse? That don't make no sense. Like, it ain't no one way to be African. You obviously not reading Soa Kieta and all these other scholars. None of these people.
And I agree with you, bro. If you don't want to spend the money on books to read, I understand that two people from the same grade in high school are not going to have the same level of comprehension.
Hmm.
But one thing I can say is then save us some money and travel to Africa. And when you
Hmm.
start speaking to people, your eyes are going to open up.
Oh yeah,
If you don't want to read, travel. If you don't want to
yeah,
travel and
yeah.
you just want to watch YouTube for a subjective bias confirmation, then what I'm going to say this to you is this: I'm sorry.
Should
I'm
get you
truly sorry.
should get a damn Pinterest account and fucking look up people groups.
No, I agree.
You'll see every damn person on there shit on Pinterest. I remember when I used to study like deep in, you know what I'm saying, when I was in school, that's what I used to use Pinterest. Love looking up my projects and stuff I put together. I look up different tribes and people on Pinterest. They have all the vintage pictures of them, like the Somalians and the different like a fall groups. You know what I'm saying? I have all this shit. You know what I'm saying? I used to be hella. I used to know how, like, people don't know how to utilize the internet. That's the one thing too. They want motherfuckers to do the work for them. Like
No,
when
I
we tell,
agree.
like when the Gozy tell a person a source or oral source, like it's up to you to go look it up. We are on recorded. We're on a recorded platform. You can rewind it, go back, write it down, what he said, and go look that shit up.
I agree with you. Like I said before, bro, I'm fighting against the people who want to separate North Africa from, let's say, Sub-Saharan Africa at times, and the people who want to remove North Africans from the continent. So, can I please ask you a couple of questions?
Yeah.
Okay. What Before I ask you, I'm going to say this. Modern day Moroccans, there are indigenous Africans. Modern day Algerians and Egyptians are indigenous Africans. They are the ones who either built the pyramids or who are from that land. Let me just clear that out. So then now as I ask you questions, bro, what I'm going to ask you is two things that are pretty important. When it comes to genetics, which both those people are A1, B1B, from your research, where does the consensus say it came from?
What, E1B1B?
Yes, sir.
Oh, the consensus say it come from somewhere around Ethiopia, the Horn of Africa.
Okay. The next one is linguistics, the Afro-Asiatic language which those two people speak. Where do they come from?
Well, according to the according to the research, of course, you got most of the arguments or which areas of Africa does it come from. It's an
Yeah.
argument whether Roger Blanche say it possibly come from southwest Ethiopia. But me personally, I gotta block him out because he's basing it off of Mota and the Mali population. But Mota is only 46,000 years old, and the Madic population is older than that, and they, and they migrated into those regions. Whoever Mota came from, just was a population that became isolated in that particular region that migrated up from the southern Ethiopian highlands, which is farther north in the region, where they are now. You know what I'm saying? They probably had a further reach and stretch. And Christopher Everett, he say the southern the southern Red Sea Hills, which is like a region like somewhere near around Eritrea, or like probably like Eastern Sudan region. And then some people say, some scholars say the Eastern Sahara region as well. Me personally, I like the not Roger Blanche, but I like the Christopher Everett, Red Sea Hill region. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then too, that's where you find most of the diversity of the languages. In those no Ethiopian highland regions.
No, I appreciate that. Um, Yolanda, one of my teachers, I said this in your chat today. I have three people that I sit back and listen to that I learn from. It's you, Ngozi, and Yolanda. Yolanda, we're not sharing that information. That's on you. Yolanda, the reason why I asked Gala is this. I see Gala as one of my teachers, and Ngozi as one of my teachers, and you as one of my teachers. You guys are from America, which is a powerhouse, who has most of the people who are questioning this information. So the reason why I ask him is so that I don't come off as a biased person who is trying to prove a subjective view. Even he just answered right now that there is diversity in his answer. Like he's trying to share the comprehensive information, which is why I listened to him. The genetics and the language comes from the Eastern Sahelian, or let's say Ethiopia region. However, to the people who might be listening for a biased reason, that doesn't mean that Ethiopia or the Eastern Sahelian people are the ancestors of those people. There are nuances. Migration up happened very, very, very long time, and a bike migration happened all the way back to that region. So therefore, modern day, those people are now the ancestors of North Africa. I hope that makes sense. Gala, let me know if I'm wrong, bro, because I definitely listen to you.
Yeah, you on point, bro. You
So
on point.
therefore, I'm trying to show there is a connection to the people who want to separate. However, I want to show there's a separation to the people who want to say those people are those people in North Africa. I want to remove the North Africans from the region. Modern day Moroccans, Algerians, and Egyptians are the people who built those societies, those civilizations. I'm going to fight for those people because I am from the region and I don't want those people who I see as my brothers being disrespected. However,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want the racist people.
You just as related to them people. It's like I said, I don't know if I said it earlier. I said it before, but I was had a conversation. I was having I've been talking about this shit all day. But I was saying that an Akan, a Somalian, Eritrean, a Moroccan, and Nigerian is just as related as a Bantu from Congo, a Khan, a Yoruba, and a Mindi are related to each other.
That is facts. Sometimes what I think is people listen to what they want to hear and they want to separate that and they want to use it for a biased reason. So then I have learned that even though I want to show the connection, I want to also show the differences in the nuances so people are not biased in removing North Africans from the region.
Mm-hmm.
There's people in chat that want to.
I
Sorry.
want to share this too, bro. Like when I was talking about earlier, like when Afro-Asiatic people, when they came to North, came up from the Red Sea Hills to North Africa, and they assimilated amongst people that was already up there too. You know what I'm saying? Becoming, the indigenous North African populations, but still kind of having a root or connection, with their other Afro-Asiatic populations and groups, from the Red Sea Hills, linking them with, Africans from the Horn and other areas in the Nile Basin. Right here, he's talking about. He said, what he was talking about? He was talking about the Levant. I'm just gonna start here at the beginning. He say over the whole of a long period, around 15,000 BCE down to much later times, changes in particular elements of culture did take place in the lands along around Egypt now itself, and because of the changing Nile flood behaviors, changes also in the pattern of habitation and residence, but overall, the archaeology of the Egyptian regions represent a picture of broad cultural and economic community extending down from the Aegean period into the Paleocene epoch. Wilmer Wetterstrom 30 years ago argued that this cultural continuity in fact lasted right through the transition from the wild grain harvesting to the adaptation of cultivated grains coming from the Levant. And this view continues to hold also in the more recent studies. In the 7th and 6th millennia, the existing population of Upper Egypt and the further north in the Fayum gradually incorporated new crops and new ways of producing them into their subsistence lives, but without evidence of any notable population intrusion from the Levant into their lands. On the other hand, the initial establishment of the Aegean Khadan cultures back in the 15th millennium BCE surely did reflect a overall of a new population element, namely the people who brought wild grain harvesting to the Egyptian Nile regions in the, coming from the Red Sea Hills. In the archaeology, their arrival introduced microliths and several new kinds of notable among them with the crescent-shaped microliths for grain harvesting. They still harvesting wild grains. So they still hunting gatherers, but they harvesting wild grain, introducing this to these Nile regions, even eventually later on to the Levant region. Right here it say, but the toolkit soon came to include as well carryovers of tool making techniques from the pre-Aegean Khadan era. They're talking about before them people migrated there. You had people up north already, like these Iberian Marusian Metroid type groups, or or these Basic Eurasian Maghribi, Maghribi groups, or Maghribi type related groups, or even like what they call the Nazareth type people. And they say, what This evidence tells us is that the arrival of the new population are argued here to have spoken the Proto-North Eritreic language, which did not constitute the population replacement. It's talking about, you know, the North Eritreic, the Proto-North Eritreic languages, you know what I'm saying, we talking about, you know what I'm saying, or these Northern Afroasiatic languages, you know what I'm saying, and they say they did not constitute a population replacement. I mean, there was people already there when they got there, you know, so when they came up from the Red Sea Hills. And they say rather what took place, what took place seems to have been more a reorganization and a fusion of the existing and incoming communities. You hear what I'm saying? It was existing and incoming communities, these Afroasiatic or these carriers of these Amadic multi components, you know what I'm saying, or these Eritreic, you know what I'm saying, components, you know what I'm saying, with which Kushitic, the Kushitic population would be the most basal out of these people, you know what I'm saying? So they probably would have been more Kushitic like migrating into these areas, you know what I'm saying? Branching off from the southern Eritrea branches, these being northern Eritrea branches, and as these migrating up north into North Africa, they meeting up with people that was already there. These people that been migrating back and forth in and out of, you know what I'm saying, Asia and Europe for a long time. You know what I'm saying? These Albanian Marusian type people becoming, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, what we know as the North Africans and, you know what I'm saying, Egyptians, you know what I'm saying, Egyptians and North Africans that we know today. And this is beginning of the Heliocene period. And it's irrelevant. People are like, oh, well, you go back to 10,000, 50,000 years ago. Because it's the Heliocene period. We still in the Heliocene period, so it's irrelevant. I mean, it's still relevant, not irrelevant. It's still relevant. What you think about that, Asana?
Bro, you just cooked. You definitely share the nuances, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, right on, bro.
That's why I honestly learned from you and Ngozi, even though I'm from the region. I
Yeah.
speak the language, and I'm from people who intermix consistently to keep their genetics.
Mm-hmm. You
And
can relate. You can relate firsthand and give us a real, you know what I'm saying, like a real on the ground, you know what I'm saying, experience, you know, so what's going on in the culture, because you live this culture, you grew up in this culture.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, what I'm trying to do is unite with, okay, when I say African American, some people take this offense. So, bro, I hope you hear me when I say this.
Yeah, you good, yeah.
Out of the African population and the diaspora Africans, I look at the African Americans as the ones that went through war and right now are the most, have the most access to information, knowledge, and can be empowered due to their the fact that they're in a Western country. So therefore, some of us can learn from you. And
Yeah,
the
like
sooner
we were given, like, a lot of people don't know, we were given a free ticket, even though like behind enemy lines, we kind of given a free ticket, an opportunity to you know what I'm saying, to help out other people around the world.
Yeah, yes, sir. You went to enemy lines and you fought.
Use the tool, use that tool to, you know, to overcome all the other bullshit.
I agree. The sooner we unite with you guys and help back you guys up so that you can lead, the sooner that we will become free and have access to our own resources in the continent.
Mm-hmm.
So if we don't unite with you guys, then we are operating at a divide and conquer mentality still.
Oh, yeah, real talk.
And all I want to do is show that, hey, we are still one. we're brothers, and I don't want that division to continue. And I want us from the people who are from the continent who are recent migrants to unite with you guys, learn from you guys, and empower you guys into becoming a leader in a global world that is just dominating everything. If you look at geopolitics today, we're still behind.
Yeah, we still behind. Like me, I'm the type of person. I like me, I fuck with who fuck with me, man. You know what I'm saying? If you an ally, you know what I'm saying, I rock with you. Just like, you know what I'm saying, I respect all cultures, I respect you, just respect me the way I want to be respected. 'Cause I like shit. I got European friends, you know what I'm saying, that you know what I'm saying, respect African culture and I respect their culture. You know what I'm saying? That too. But at the same time, like us as Africans, just being from that continent, we do, you know what I'm saying, should have our relationship tightened first. You know what I'm saying, in the first place.
I agree with you 100%. And when it comes to that European comment, I'm with you 100%. Um, I I am privileged in my career. And at the same time, through my life experience, I am into that European culture a bit. And the more you get to know me personally, you're gonna see it. Even though I don't share it on YouTube and stuff like that, I am pure Pan-African. Julande, you're right. But I am privileged enough to recognize where I am at in this planet, what country I live in, the kind of jobs I'm able to get, the education that I was able to receive, and use that in order to empower our people. And when it comes to having European friends and even at times family members, without getting into too much detail, I understand that humanity at the end of the day is one, and we are a subgroup when it comes to the continent of Africa and diaspora Africa. That's why when I listen to Gullah and Ngozi and Juju, I'm appreciative and sit back and learn. Gullah, you need to go live more. You got family and everything, bro, and I totally understand, but we would be privileged to hear from you a lot more. But with what we get, we are appreciative.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. It's been the holidays, been spending a lot of time with family, but I'm here now, so it's the new year. Gonna get it in. I'm gonna say, man, I was gonna show some. I'm gonna play with that phenotype website too. It's to give show people the diversity and nuances as well.
Cool. Well, if there's anything you want to teach right now, I'm willing to sit back and watch and listen. So don't be shy. We are privileged to hear from you tonight.
Oh, yeah, I'm good. We good, man. Rocking out. Even right here, I'm gonna show right here too. I'm gonna go. I forgot. I forgot. I was gonna show this too. Real quick. It's a genetic history of Africa.
Juju, I hope I done you well tonight because I have a lot of respect for you, my sister.
There we go.
As you do this, I'm gonna get some food so I can watch, half asleep, and eat food so I can get that itis. Well, and I wake up in freaking, what is it right now? Almost 3 in 2 hours from my son. So sometimes I feel off, so I apologize, guys, because I wake up at 5 a.m. every day for my son and wife.
So y'all don't. So what you on East? You on Eastern time?
I am, I'm definitely on Eastern time. So right now I'm at that stage where I would call when I was in college. I would call that the stupid stage where I can watch the Bill Cosby show, the Miley Cyrus, or whatever Hannah Montana,
Oh
and
yeah,
laugh my ass off because my brain is fucked up.
because you stop tired. Let me see. Africa, gene flow between Eurasian. Here we go. What is diversity? I think I'm gonna write genetic history Africa overview. It look different than it do on my phone.
The phone and the computer are totally different beasts.
Oh yeah, here we go. It's right here. Yeah, bye.
I'll get food and watch.
Here it say, Ramesses 2018 also found evidence of significant Western Eurasian admixture in various parts of Africa, from both ancient and more recent migrations, being highest among populations from northern Africa and some groups of the Horn of Africa. That been mixed with them Basil raisins for a long time. Basil raisin even up until the derived age. You know what I'm saying? I mean more derived age. Even right here it say, and it say in addition, this is the point I'm gonna make right here where it say, in addition to the intrinsic diversity within the continent due to population structure and isolation, migration of Eurasian populations in Africa has merged as critical contributor to the genetic diversity. These migrations involved an influx of different Eurasian populations at different times in different parts of Africa. The comprehensive characterization of details of these migrations through genetic studies of existing populations would help to explain the strong genetic differences between some geographically neighboring populations. This distinctive Eurasian admixture appeared to have occurred over at least 3 times periods, with ancient admixture in Central West Africa, Europe, and Nigeria occurring in 7.5 and 10.5 thousand years ago. Older admixture in East Africa, Ethiopia occurring 2.4 and 3.4 thousand years ago, and more recent admixture in 0.15 and 1.5 uh, years ago in some East African Kenya populations. He said your wiki, Juju says your wiki correction, your wiki on fleek. Let me see. Yeah, they even heard talk about uh yeah, they even heard they talk about the Afro-Asiatic languages. They talk about how you know how the telltale sign that the diversity is in the horn. So that's like a telltale sign. That's where origin of a language family is. I heard they kind of talk about the Ethio-Somali component. That's another base Eurasian component, other than the Maghrebi component. The Maghrebi component would represent some of the components that was already in North Africa. It came in through the Levant region. Basically it's the Iberian Marusian shit. And it said while many studies abducted in the Horn of Africa population estimated West Eurasian admixture event around 30, I mean, I said 30, I mean around 3,000 years ago. Hodgson 2014 found a distinct West Eurasian ancestral component among studied Afro-Asiatic groups in the Horn of Africa and lesser extent in North Africa and West Asia. Most prevalent among the Somali, this ancestral component, dubbed Ethio-Somali, is most related to the Maghrebi, peaking in Tunisians, component and believed to have diverged from other non-African ancestry around 23,000 years ago and migrated back to Africa prior to developing agriculture. Migrate back to Africa prior to developing agriculture, 12 to 23,000 from the Near East. So it's like they migrated even before, these back migrations, way before agriculture, was even going on. And they say this population would have crossed via the Sinai Peninsula and then split into two. The one branch continued west across North Africa, and the other heading south into the Horn of Africa. The authors suppose that the Ethio-Somali may have been substantial ancestral component of Afro-Asiatic speaking population. Later migrations, the authors propose the Ethio-Somali may have been substantial ancestral component of Proto-Afro-Asiatic speaking populations. And they say later migrations from Arabia into the Horn of Africa around 3,000 KA will explain the origins of Ethio-Semitic languages at this time. And to say, and mitochondria or mtDNA analysis of Gandini, 2016, has produced additional evidence in support of pre-agricultural back migrations from West Eurasia into the Horn of Africa, with the estimated date of arrival into the Horn of Africa in early Paleocene, mostly as a result of obsidian exchange networks across the Red Sea. That's what I was talking about earlier when the goes they was trading obsidian tools with these Base Eurasian populations, of these Ethio-Somali, Base Eurasians. And they say, even though they call it Ethio-Somali, these are Asian people, Asian markers, or these Base Eurasian markers. The only reason they call it Ethio-Somali is because most Ethio-Somali people today got these particular signatures from these people. But look though, it say the Horn, it say this supported pre-agricultural. It means before agriculture, pre-agricultural back migration from West Eurasians into the Horn of Africa, with the estimated date of arrival into the Horn of Africa in the early Paleocene. And they say possibly as a result of obsidian exchange networks across the Red Sea. And they say Hutchison also confirmed the existence of an ancestral component indigenous to the Horn of Africa, the Ethiopic or the Amadic component, which is most prevalent among speakers of the Amadic branch of Afro-Asiatic in southwestern Ethiopia. This language is associated with that of the 4,500-year-old fossil Mota found in a cave in southwest Ethiopia, which has high genetic affinities in modern Ethiopian groups, especially the endogamous blacksmith caste of the Madic Ari people. Say Mota, Ari blacksmith do not show evidence of admixture with West Eurasians demonstrating a degree of population. This a DeGalo concluded that the evidence of Nomadic from other Afro-Asian populations may be the result of a relative isolation of speakers from the external groups. In a population of in this one word in an analysis of 68 Ethiopian ethnic groups, Lopez 2021 revealed that the several groups, along with the three Afroasiatic classifications of Kushitic, Aramatic, and Semitic, show high genetic similarities to each other on average. Furthermore, the Nilo-Saharan speakers in the Southwest share more recent ancestry of Bantu and Nilotics. In contrast, Afroasiatic speakers in Northeast share more recent ancestry with Egyptians and other West Eurasians. And the data also supported widespread recent admixing among various ethnic groups. Yeah.
Bro, you're cooking. One thing that I can say is because I keep reading Dr. Bunub's comments.
Yeah.
When it comes to the Euritric languages, I agree that Egyptian branched off. However, it is connected to let's say the Moroccan, the Berber language when it comes to it.
Yeah, because they both North Euritric language.
Yes, sir. But even though they're both North Uritic languages, they also do have connection to some of the Kushitic languages. And I'm going to give you an example right now because I do speak a Kushitic language.
They most definitely do. Yeah, most definitely do.
So, Gala, can I give you an example, bro?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to give you an example of two basic things. Just two words. Ra, because people worship in Egypt and modern day Western folks want to say Ra, the sun god, right?
Yeah.
And there's Yah, which is I don't know what they would recognize it as, but like as in Yah, the god, the moon god, right?
Yeah.
Modern day Somalia is a Kushitic language that branched off long, long time ago, but we do keep that proto word still. And an example is this: Ra, modern day Somalia, is or Ra, which means the pinhole of Ra.
Wow.
So when we say sun, we say or Ra.
Yeah.
Ra.
Even the deity or the original deity of some of the Cushitic groups of the Horn, Wag, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Walk. Yeah.
Yeah, has a lot of similarities with Asar or Osiris.
Okay, since you said that, I'm gonna give you another word after, but let me do this two words first, okay?
Yeah.
Ra today in Somalia is Qora. Qorah, to make it non-European. Qorah, which means the pinhole of Ra.
Yeah.
Yah is Yah, the Yah, which is the moon. And I know you said Asar right now. I think you understand linguistics better than most, so I'm gonna say this to you. The R interchanged with the L at some point, right? Do you know that R and L became interchangeable at some point in history?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So if I want to say in Somali, the root, it is asal, Asal. Asal means root in Somali. I try.
Oh. Oh, so like has to do with like some agricultural shit.
Probably the thing is, I understand like the meaning of modern day, which when I say my asal, it means my root.
Yeah.
The R and the L switch at some point. When I say il, it means I. In the past, it would have been er. Today, it's il. So the R switched to an L at some point in history. It
Wow.
makes me laugh when somebody says, I'm Egyptian, I can only speak an Indo-European language, which is English. I can't even speak Coptic, and they want to challenge a Kushitic person who reads, who is from the region, who speaks the Kushitic language. We are not the Egyptians. However, our language diverged at some point in history, and some of us can speak the language still.
Yeah.
You
Like
can't.
even for example, like you still got certain cognitives that's similar. Like even in other Afro-Asiatic languages that come from different branches. Like for example, the Bani Afri or the Afri, you know what I'm saying, like the North African groups that give Africa the name, Africa's name or whatever. That mean like the dust, you know what I'm saying, or the caves, or you know what I'm saying, come from the dust or whatever, you know what I'm saying. That same cognitive for that term is the same cognitive with the reason why the fog call themselves the fog. Because it means the dust or living in desertous regions, you know what I'm saying?
No, I agree with you, and I appreciate the fact that you share information like that. Doctor, as he says, Kansu means the moon. One thing I'm going to say to you is this: Yahweh, which would be considered a moon god in Semitic language.
Wow.
So the Yah means moon in Somali. Yah. I can pronounce the actual word. I will say this to you, Dr. Banoob. Can you?
Oh, you can jump on.
Yeah, you can jump on. But the thing is, the most he can do is this. What I say is this. Doctor, I fight for you guys, but you want to insult me. Someone like Smash comes on chat and destroys you by learning your language. And then what you don't realize is this. I'm actually fighting for you guys. When I reference myself, it's me trying to say modern Egyptians are the ancient Egyptians. Leave them alone. Don't disrespect their culture. Don't take them away from the freaking
Hello?
continent. You're a doctor.
Yeah,
Oh,
Muhammad.
bro,
Hi.
okay, first time I'm gonna say this, stop calling me Muhammad, okay?
You
My
told me your name
language,
was Muhammad, so your name is Muhammad.
I never told you my name. You
Yeah,
assumed
you
that
did.
because, no, I did not tell you that, okay? What I'm gonna say this to you, my actual first name is a Kushitic freaking word. And the Kushitic
Okay.
word means
And my
it's
actual
tomorrow.
last name is a Coptic freaking 2 words.
It can be it. Doctor, I'm gonna say this to you. First, let me ask you a question before I say something. You're Egyptian, right?
Coptic, yes, Coptic.
Okay. Have you seen me fight for you guys
You know,
consistently?
no one needs to fight
No,
for
nobody
us,
knows. Okay, I don't
bro.
need to fight for
We
you
fight
guys,
for
bro.
ourselves.
No, you don't fight for you guys. You're not even from the damn continent. You can say you were born there,
I'm
but
not
I'm
from
gonna
the
say this to
damn
you.
continent. You got some nerve. I was born in Muharram Bay, Alexandria.
Where were you raised? Can you speak a
Alexandria
Coptic language? Can you speak a Coptic
No, you
language?
know why? Do you know why we don't speak the language?
Don't tell
Do
me
you know
why. Can
history?
you?
Did you
Don't tell me
study?
why. Don't tell me
I'll
why.
tell you
Can you?
why.
Can
Yeah,
you?
I'll tell you why.
Can you?
I'll tell you why.
No, don't tell
Because
me
the
why. Can
Muslims
you?
cut our tongues out starting
Yo,
1000 AD under the caliphate of Al Hakim Amr Allah.
I don't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I try to be respectful to you. I don't give a f because
Oh,
I
you
have
don't?
Coptic
Okay, well
friends. I got Coptic friends that can
you
speak the
weren't
language.
persecuted
I got
like we
Coptic
were.
friends that
We
speak
have
the
been
language.
persecuted. Excuse me. We have been persecuted for 2,000 years since the Romans. So the Romans, then the Byzantines,
You don't have
then
to
the
teach me history.
Arabs, then
You
the
do not have to
Turks.
teach me history, Gala.
Yeah.
If you can moderate this, I'm gonna expose something right now.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Dr. Bennett, let me ask you this.
Mm.
Are you against modern Palestinians? What's happening today to them? Are you cheering for that against them? Are you cheering
No,
for Israel?
are you cheering against Israel?
Hold on. Why would you have to ask me that? You're not answering my question.
The
What's happening
modern
to Palestine?
Palestinians, okay, the modern Palestinians are 70 to 80% pro Hamas. You know what Hamas is? It's a terror organization.
Gala, you hear this?
It is.
Okay.
I don't have to tell you. You can look it up. Hamas is a terror organization.
Okay, Dr. Benoop, can I please speak to Gala at this channel? Can I please
Yes, go
speak to
ahead.
him for a sec?
Yeah, I got some Palestinian. Well, there's a lot of Palestinians from St. Louis that I'm cool with, but I ain't never heard of nothing like
So, Gala, I'm
that.
not Palestinian. I'm not Israeli.
You're Muslim. That's why. That's why you're pro-Palestinian.
I'm asking you, bro. Can I?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
Please don't interrupt, okay? Gala,
What's up? What's up?
let's say when 1,500 people are killed compared to 30,000 people, where do I stand in history understanding the nuances? Shouldn't I be the one that's fighting against oppression and fighting for the people who have been killed? 30,000 people have been killed, including 10,000 kids.
Oh yeah.
And how many hundreds of thousands of Muslims were killed by other Muslims, like Iran, Iraq war? No one talks about them. But when it's a Jewish country defending themselves, then all hell breaks loose versus that population. Hundreds of thousands died in the Iran-Iraq war, 2 Muslim countries.
Gala,
But
I'm gonna say this.
I want to say that's a Jewish country. That's a Jewish country based off of mythology shit. Them motherfuckers they never own that shit.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm sorry. Can I ask Isonic what does Banub mean? That's an ancient Egyptian name.
I don't.
What does it mean, and what
I don't give an.
Okay, well, you just gave us an instruction about Kushitic, etc.
I speak the language. Can you? I
That's
can speak
okay.
for the rest. For the next 5 minutes, I can speak the language. Can you?
Yeah, but you guys would not have Metter.
Yes, you can.
Not the cops.
Let's do this.
Bullshit.
Let's do this.
Gala,
I'm switching languages right now. I'm switching languages. Okay, Dr. Binu, Samantha.
I don't care. Whatever you said.
You didn't answer
my question. What does Banub mean? It's Kushitic, right? Your language is completely different. It kind of sounds Arabic.
afkayga uu ka weyn yahay Arabic maxaa markaa ka hadlaysaa markaa kuu sheegay kelmadda Arab in Somali means tongue. So you don't understand the nuances. We are at different levels, bro. You are too westernized to even come to this conversation.
What do you have against Western? Where do Muslims immigrate to? Do they immigrate to other Muslim countries, or do they immigrate to the West, like Canada, for example, where you're at? Where do they immigrate to? Why do they immigrate to the West? The United States.
Let me answer.
The United States, Canada, and Western Europe. Muslims immigrate there, and Australia.
Let me answer you, bro.
To Egypt.
Let me answer you, bro. Canada, when I speak the national language, my home and native land. We recognize the fact that this is native land, not European conquerors. You want to worship Europeans.
It's still the West. You're under the European government.
You want to take Egypt out of Africa, and you can't even speak a Coptic language. You can't even speak a language from a freaking Afro-Asiatic language.
You know, I'm not going to answer
want to come here on the sea?
Being ignorant. You're being willfully ignorant.
I'm not being willfully ignorant. Bro, I am coming at you at a different level now. I can speak a Kushitic language. I am from a European country, just like you said. I don't give I'm educated just like you. You're a doctor from the 1870s. My degree is from the 2010s. What's up? maxaa ka hadlaysaa maanta waa fadhiisadaysaa soo maaha maxaa rabtaa maxaa garadaysaa afkayga wuxuu ka yimi waa hore kaaga goormuu ka yimi goormuu ka yimi
Don't impress me. That don't impress me.
I don't need to.
I don't care.
I don't need to. The people who ever click on this link will see and laugh.
Because you come from the region. How many times have you said that today? Maybe that on your sixth.
Waa ka imi wadanka waa ka imi adi halkee ka timi
Okay, what does shanut mean? That's another Egyptian word. I know a couple words.
You know a couple of words. I'm speaking a full language. I hope chat sees this. I'm speaking a full language.
That's an ancient Egyptian name. Banuk means belonging to Anubis. And you know what belonging to Anubis means? Where our family were embalmers. Embalmers from ancient Egypt.
Bro, wow. I try to unite with you, but You're not speaking to let's say a Western
But
person.
you're not. You can't place yourself
You-
in Egypt. You are Kushitic, like you said. Kushitic have
okay,
nothing to do with Egypt.
I
We're
don't give a
Coptic.
I don't give an F about
Okay, then
Egypt.
stop trying to
Gala,
claim you are
Gala,
just as bad as an
what
Afrocentric.
Well, I
You're
can't.
Gala,
basically a
Well, I
Somali
can't.
centric.
Well, I
Gala,
can't. I can't say no. No, Kushitic had nothing to do with it. It had like Fiji.
There's no language.
Gala, go
Egyptian
ahead,
is the
bro.
only independent. Is the only
Oh no, no,
independent
no. But
Afro-Asiatic
no, but not, but no.
language.
Certain
Yes,
words,
Banu,
like
yes.
certain borrow, like they did borrow certain words from Kushitic, like Seafood people.
Cushitic, there's many branches, there's many families that are really closely related. Egyptian, there's only one that descended Coptic. There is no other languages.
Gala, where do
Arabic
both
is
languages come from? Where does the genetics come from? I asked you this
proto.
for a
You're
reason
thinking
before. It
proto.
doesn't
That's
matter.
just like
It
there's a
doesn't matter.
Indo-European, there's
It doesn't matter.
Proto-Afro-Asiatic. I know
We
that.
kept some of those. You didn't.
We still do. We kept it alive, so
you didn't.
you guys can
You
study
didn't.
ancient Egypt. We
Subjective.
were the
You
first
didn't.
Egyptologists. The Egyptians
Gala,
were the first Egyptologists, not Europeans.
Gala, where does the
Ancient
language
Egyptians were
and the genetics come
Egyptologists
from?
already in ancient Egypt.
Doctor, can you let Gala please answer my question? Gala, where does the language and the genetics come from? I asked him this already. The thing is, you don't understand what I'm trying to do.
Come from the Red Sea Hills.
Thank you.
I mean the ancestral, like before, like
that's still debatable, but it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me because it's proto. Okay, everyone
You're a doctor.
I'm just saying
everyone can trace.
I'm just saying what makes sense.
Humans can trace themselves to Africa, but that doesn't mean they were Cushitic people that left Africa.
No, I ain't saying it was Cushitic people, but they was more Cushitic is the more basal motherfucker.
Basil.
Yeah, that's why Egyptian is the oldest language. It's the oldest known language. It's still the oldest known.
No,
even though
it's not the oldest. It's not older than like Egyptian is not older than Cushitic.
It is. It's a written language. It's a written language.
Just because it's a written language, I mean it's just the oldest language. Just because somebody wrote some shit, like
you still have to have, for example.
No.
Wait.
A language can be without fucking writing, bro. Like the oldest language is
you can't trace the language without writing.
Languages. That's the oldest language.
Up to a certain
click language is the oldest languages.
Yeah, that's old, but it's still it's not a.
That's a written language.
There's no recording of it.
Writing doesn't make a language a language. It's just a language is half writing. It's just what it is. It don't mean that it have to be half writing to be a language.
Before that, other languages would borrow from other languages. That's how you know how old another language. In Sumerians recorded words.
I don't know.
Don't bring Sumerian to click.
I don't think you study linguistics, bro.
There'd be some loan words from other languages, then you could tell how old the neighboring language is if they didn't have a writing system.
But where did click language borrow from? What did click language borrow from?
A writing system does not make a language a language. It's just a writing system, bro. It don't mean it have to be like you have languages that way before then that have their own little styles and systems. It's sophisticated too.
How do you determine how old a language is without writing? How?
Because of the people and the culture. It's other facts. It's other factors that you do. Like it ain't just you need writing to do that shit. You have to just do a comparison of other shit. So you like older languages now have you know what I'm saying, writing systems. Some use Roman numerals, some use Arabic numerals, some all type of
but you know where all writing except not Korean comes from? All alphabets?
So what?
Where do all alphabets that are not
from
Korean?
Pictograms.
They come from ancient Egyptian alphabetic hieroglyphs that we invented in Middle Egypt, in the Middle Kingdom. Go look back. You have wiki.
All of it don't come from Egypt, bro. It come from
all non-Korean alphabets. That means the Aramaic, Proto-Sinaitic, which is the second stage of ancient Egyptian. Then Aramaic and Phoenician, they all came from Egypt. All the Greek, the Roman, the Latin, that's all from us.
You said the Phoenician.
That's easy to do. You can go look on Wikipedia. Just pick a language. Pick a say Arabic language. Go on Wikipedia, and it'll give you the you can trace back. It'll show you what the mother.
Lineage B.
Yeah, that no one speaks that. I said all alphabetic systems. I'm talking today. All alphabets.
What about the alphabets from India?
Do they have an alphabet? No. If they have a Romanized alphabet,
No, they
they're
do. They got writing. They got
yeah, but it's not an
alphabet.
alphabet. Right. There's only two kinds of alphabet. There's non-Korean, and there's the other alphabets, the rest of the world. Chinese don't have an alphabet. If you're thinking Chinese are pictograms, so they're not included as an alphabetic system.
Well, they don't make anyway, bro. They don't make a
language. Anyway, we got off a tangent there, so whatever.
Yeah, they don't make a language in this way. It's different ways to study to see how old a language. You know what I'm saying? The culture itself is a reflection of the language.
Yeah, and our culture is different from our Kushitic culture.
People ain't. If you look up an old ancient culture, these people they talking. They ain't talking because they don't have no writing. They just in silent, look like an old silent movie or something.
It's called oral communication.
Like the old movie,
okay. Like the Aborigines in Australia. They had the oldest culture, right?
Talking like the Charlie Chaplin movies or some shit.
Just do yourself a favor and debunk what I said. You can go on Wikipedia, pick the Greek language, and it'll show you the progenitors of the Greek language, a series. Pick Coptic, and it will show you the progenitors of modern Coptic. Pick Assyrian, pick Aramaic, pick whatever you want, any other language. Pick Cyrillic, Russian.
Yeah.
Pick Armenian, all of them. All variations of our hieroglyphs.
What about Runic?
Runic, yes. Runic is, yes. Runic is also now, but that's not used now. But yes, that's descendant from ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs. Yes.
Nah,
I looked that up already.
Nah, bro, Runic don't come from no damn Egypt.
Yes, it does. Look it up. Look it up.
Bro, that's
look it up.
German shit, bro.
Yeah, I'll type in Runic right now and see. Runic script, right? Runic. Go. Runic writing system. Okay, a rune is a set of related alphabets known as runic alphabets, native to Germanic peoples. Runes are used to write Germanic languages before they adopted the Latin alphabet. Parent systems. The very first thing says Egyptian hieroglyphs. Egyptian hieroglyphs to Proto-Sinaitic, which is still Egyptian, to Phoenician, to Greek alphabet, to Old Italic.
Where are you reading it from?
Wikipedia, dude. Google. I'm on Google right now. Put runic writing system. Child, and then it tells you the child is the sentence. Go ahead.
What do you see about Egypt?
Parent systems. You have child systems, direction.
I'm looking at origins, right?
Parent systems. What's the parent system?
What you mean parent? What are you looking at?
Parents. Okay. I'm in Google. It says runic writing system overview. It shows you the letters, and then it gives you an explanation. And you can open with.
I see what you see.
All right. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but it say possibly though, man.
Well, no, still Egyptian hieroglyphs are highlighted. They say Old Italic possibly. They're not sure about that part. They're pretty sure about the ones before the Greek. When I'm bored, I do shit like this on my computer all the time.
Yeah, me too.
I like to find out origins.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but you do well. You know.
Yeah, at some point. Yeah,
okay. All right. Now you see that. That's all I had to say.
But that shit do look like that shit do. When I look at it though, it shit look like shit. It look like uniform a little bit.
No, there's nothing from cuneiform.
I'm just saying it look.
Cuneiform doesn't have any descent.
I'm just saying by first glance, like you know what I'm
Oh
saying.
yeah. It looks kind of cool. You know, it looks similar to that. The Tamazic. Tamazic. It kind of looks like Tamazic to me. And you look at Tamazic.
Yeah. That's what it looked like. Yeah, it showed look like.
That's a cool looking writing. You know, there's just cute versions of a hieroglyphs, basically.
Let me see.
Tamazic is pretty cool looking.
Writing. You know what I'm saying? Writing script. Right systems. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some research on it. I'm gonna have to go over there.
Yeah, you'll have fun. It's fun. I know you enjoy that.
Yeah,
I'm a nerd, so.
They say what they say with the West African NCBD. That shit. That shit be. I said that shit ain't cited though. Wow.
It's pretty cool to trace, you know.
Yeah. But it probably came from some type of pictograph originally. Anyway.
Yeah. Linear A and linear B are non-related to hieroglyphs, but they're also not used either.
Yeah,
they died out as soon as
linear B is they come from the Mycenaeans and shit, and then linear A comes from Minoan.
Oh, okay, linear B. All right, linear A is Minoan, right?
Yeah,
that's linear A. Yeah, that one hasn't been deciphered yet.
Yeah, the linear
you're
A.
Right.
Linear A is the Minoan, but
Minoan. Yeah, that one hasn't been deciphered yet.
Yeah, the linear B is the Mycenaeans.
Mycenaean, which turns into Greek.
Yeah, they Indo-Europeans.
Right. I'll be waiting for your presentation on the alphabets. I'm sure you can outdo me easily. You're better at research than I am. I'm an old fart right now, so.
Oh yeah.
You can geek out on that.
Yeah, cause my next show I'm gonna continue talking about the Niger Congo societies.
Yeah. It's cool to learn. You know, it's really cool to learn about other societies. I love it. It's fun. Broaden your horizons.
I can't wait till I start getting into other continents and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I know I got a lot of information about like Asia, especially Southeast Asia, like Austronesian and Austro.
And you know they're the Thai, the Thai script. The what's the Indian script called? I forget, but all that's also from Egyptian hieroglyphs.
Oh, what
they use in Thailand?
Are you talking about like Abjad languages and all that?
Well, just the alphabets, not the languages necessarily.
Because Egypt was definitely. I know Egypt was definitely trading with India too, because shit, the Zebu cow came into there. So
yeah, Egyptians got around, bro.
Yeah. Somalia, shit, y'all was trading with India. Shit, motherfucker, the spice trade, shit.
Yeah, of course, probably. Yeah.
Probably. Gullah, can I say something?
Yeah.
Stand up everywhere in it, but it's listed for.
What's up with it, Stan?
Not much. I want to say this. You can say you're a nerd and everything, but then you can always be a biased nerd. The genetics, the linguistics come from the Eastern Sahelian area. So then when you want to disqualify that and you want to put it in the Levant and out of Africa, and then you want to come in.
I'm not putting anything out of Africa. I do my own research too. I don't make shit up.
You can do your own research, but I'm not arguing with you, bro. I'm trying to speak to Gullah, and then you want to jump in.
Okay, all right.
Let me show this real quick.
I will sit back when Gullah tells me, yo, you're wrong. And I'll say, Gullah, teach me, and I'm willing to listen. This stuff does come from Africa, and it comes from the Eastern Sahelian area.
Yeah, eventually all humans
why are you
come
speaking?
from Africa, so
I can't speak without you jumping in. Can I speak without you jumping in?
Go ahead.
Your proto language, your genetics come from that area. So therefore, when you come in with a bias, I'm gonna fight you.
Are you talking to me or are you talking to Gullah? Because now if you're talking to me, I might have to respond.
Yo, Gala, I'm gonna fight those people who want to take Egypt out of Africa. I'm gonna fight those people who also want to make them Egyptians, not from that region. So therefore, when somebody says that that language and the genetics don't come from Africa, I'm gonna fight them. When they say that that language and genetics come from the Levant, I'm gonna fight them. So therefore, both are mother effing pseudos. So therefore, you are not any different if you say that Egyptians are not the modern Egyptians.
Now you're talking to me, right?
Egyptians. I'm
How
not
dare
talking
you
to
call
you.
me a
I'm not
pseudo? I
talking to you.
actually have a degree
I'm not talking
in
to you. I'm not
biology and
talking to you.
chemistry.
I'm not talking to you. You cannot sit
No,
back
you
and
said you.
you
Who do
cannot sit
you
back and listen. I was quiet.
said you.
Bro, I can be very aggressive, but at the same time, my personality is laid back.
Yeah, Napoleonic. Yeah.
I don't care what you say. Gala, when
Yeah.
people want to say modern Egyptians are not the ancient Egyptians, I want to fight them because modern Egyptians, I see them as family, and I don't want them to be disrespectful. But when somebody claims to be modern Egyptian and they want to take the language and the genetics out of the region, I'm gonna fight them. When they want
Yeah,
to
we
take
have
the culture,
genetics, dude. What
I'm
are you
not
talking
talking
about?
to you. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Gala. Why can't you sit
What
back and let me
degree?
talk?
What's
Why
your
can't you sit back
degree
and let
in?
me
Is it
talk?
in life
Why can't you
sciences like
sit back
mine?
and let me talk? Why can't you sit back and let me talk? I was quiet while you built with him. Can you
Yalla.
just sit back, mute yourself, and let me talk to
Okay,
Gala?
طيب يلا.
Mute yourself. Yalla habibi.
يلا
Mute
يا
yourself.
أخويا. يلا.
I don't give an F about your fight against Islam. I don't give an F. My ancestors are Waq. My modern people are Islam. I don't give an F about what any Arabs did to your people because you're being very effing disrespectful to me right now. So then I don't care. I don't care.
I want to show these people.
Yeah, but you still have the religion, don't you?
I want to show these people out here like doing like the Neolithic, not like Neolithic, but like the like sort of like a pre-Neolithic, like when them first motor carrying Afro-Asiatic speakers went into the Northern Nile and mixed with these the people that was already there, these old North African groups. It was already there. They probably looked something like this, but these people was already mixed themselves. They was already mixed with the Ethio-Somali component from South Arabia.
And who did it look like, Gala? Who did it look like modern day?
Yeah, it looks like Kushitics because Kushitics is the most basal group. They represent the basal group anyway.
What does basil mean?
Sorry, Gala, what are we talking? Who looks like whom? What are you talking? What was he trying to?
These northern Ethiopoids. Say northern Ethiopoid subtype is often regarded as a northern branch of East Ethiopoid, common along the Red Sea coast in the Nile Valley from Egypt to Eritrea and deep into the Ethiopian highlands. Shows some morphology affinities with Mediterraneans and played an important role in the ancient Egypt. Often blends with Reboids, Yemenids, and arrived in prehistoric times, common in Beja.
No, it doesn't mean that the Somalis are the basil.
No, I'm not saying that. But Somalis are one of the basal because they represent a basal tradition. Like they even practice a lot of the older tradition and shit.
Boom. Now you're going to traditions. They don't practice our traditions. What's shamanism? You guys practice? The Somalis practice shamanism?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying out of Afro-Asiatic groups, Somalians practice an older tradition out of their group. Like Egyptians is something way newer. You know what I'm saying? The forest tradition.
Way newer? Yeah.
That's my forest tradition. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. Yeah, way newer. Sure.
Yeah.
Listen to
what people go to Somalia to look at all the ruins in Somalia.
I'm talking about before it even was in Egypt, bro. Before it even was in Egypt. I'm talking about prehistoric.
Okay, they weren't even Egyptians technically yet.
Exactly.
So
I'm talking about the ancestors of Egyptians. That's what I'm talking about.
The ancestors of Egyptians come also from Iran. You know that.
Iran.
You know that, right?
Yeah.
You see what I'm fighting against?
Laugh.
Yeah, but that's later on. That's later on. That's even before.
That they were still ancestors.
Later on.
But that's not the base group. That's not the base group. That's just
That's what formed Egyptians.
Yeah.
That's why we look different from Somalis.
Partially.
And that's why our language is
maternally
distinctive.
That's not
I can tell a Somali like
that's maternally, bro. That's not the base
from
group.
an Egyptian.
The patrilineal group came from niggas looking like this.
Boom.
E3B markers. E3B markers.
mtDNAK.
Came from these dudes, and these dudes was already mixed with. They already was mixed with Southern
Eurasian. mtDNAK, right?
Yeah, they was already mixed with Vidoids.
Doctor, are you listening? You're a doctor. Can you be objective instead of being subjective?
To be specific, I'm a pharmacist.
You can be a pharmacist. You have a higher education. If you have a higher education, you should learn the fact to be objective. The thing is, when it comes to post-secondary school, you learn to be objective and critical thinker. What the hell happened to your education? Critical thinking and objective reasoning should have been a part of it. Or should I just say Americans are not like Canadians?
And please tell me what is your specialty?
I'm not gonna tell you my specialty because you do not.
Okay, thank you.
Gala,
thank you.
101.
You should be proud of your specialty if you have one.
The thing is, I don't care if you think I'm an elementary school dropout.
I am
proud. Did you know part of our culture? Let me teach you something about
your culture. You're American.
Yeah, American. You told me to start speaking. Our culture,
your culture is American, not or. You're
being pejorative again.
Your culture is American.
No, my mom and dad were born in Egypt, and they taught us.
Your mom and daddy,
in a Coptic,
you did not grow up in
a Coptic family.
In
we were not allowed to date, and marriages are arranged.
I don't care. You did not grow up in Africa. You did not grow up in Africa. You're not one of us. You don't get the nuances.
Africa is not a monolith.
You're not one of us.
It's not a monolith.
You're not one of us.
It's not a monolith.
I don't care what you think. You're an American.
I don't care what you think. It's not a monolith.
You are an American.
We are Coptic, and we're damn fucking proud that
America is the most powerful country in history. You are an American. Respect your American history.
And what citizenship do you have? Do you have one in Canada?
I have a Somali citizenship.
Oh, no. What about the other citizenship?
Don't talk about other.
Okay, well, you're just telling me I'm an American.
You are an American.
And you're a Canadian, then.
Most powerful country in history.
You're a Canadian, then. You're a Canadian. You said you were a child when you came here.
I never said I was a child when I came here.
When I came to the United States.
You don't know my connection to the continent.
You stated about that you were just under the age of being drafted into the army.
You do not know my connection to the continent.
There you go. The
continent. Very connected to the
continent. You're from the region.
I am very connected.
You're from the region, all right? The region. Your region is the Horn. That's not our region.
I am more African than I am Canadian.
We're different. No. Your region is the Horn.
More African
you have a
than I'm Canadian.
System. You have a tribal. You identify by a tribe.
Language.
We don't.
Hey, hold on, bro. No. You human beings always identify by tribes. Even the
not us.
Yes, you have, bro. Even the gnomes.
We don't have tribes. Name one ancient Egyptian tribe.
You ain't gonna name no. You ain't gonna name. It's a whole lot of tribes you ain't gonna name.
There are no tribes in Egypt.
Bro,
no.
Hey, bro,
we're gonna talk recorded history. I'm not talking about prehistory. We don't know. And if there were tribes, it wasn't recorded, so we don't know.
Exactly. But
there is no Egyptian written history is 5,000 years old.
I don't care what you're talking about. Any human.
We don't have tribes. We take pride in that.
No,
we are unique.
That's a damn lie. That's a damn lie. That's a myth. You a pseudo then if you talking about you ain't nobody, no human had no damn tribe. Every human ever have a damn tribe. Even if you look at the history of Egypt, they say the Egyptians come from confederation of different chieftains. Chieftains are fucking tribes. What you talking about? So what? You know the names of them. Any human being have a history from tribal history. Anybody, even Darwin says that. He said that even the European people had tribes and shit. That's absurd. You ain't finna sit here and talk to no person with that's an anthropology major talking about humans ain't never had no fucking tribe. We're fucking primates. We had no fucking choice but to have a tribe. A damn gnome is a tribe. You claiming you Egyptian, or even them claim coming together, unifying as a one, that's a damn tribe. That's tribalistic. You identifying yourself as them and they. That's a tribe. What you talking about?
Phil, I hope I wasn't disrespectful to your stream tonight. I was just trying to show the differences, the nuances, and also show unity. That's it.
Shit crazy to me, bro. When I sit here talking that, if you start talking that shit, that's like, oh, that's some fucking racial ass bias ass shit. And every human in this fucking planet had a damn tribe. If you ain't had no tribe, you ain't no fucking human being.
That's why I get heated, understanding the nuances. I'm from the
On
continent and
that
I
stupid
understand
ass
tribes
shit.
and
That's stupid
sub-tribes.
as fuck. A gang is a tribe. Any fucking group, a damn political party is a fucking tribe. What the fuck are you talking about?
Much respect. I apologize for my heated conversation.
Shit crazy.
Great stream. I honestly learned stuff. I do apologize for any disrespect.
Yeah, I removed him for now, man. That shit pissed me off. And now you trying to act like you better than some motherfucker. I don't do that shit on my channel, bro.
I hope you
Every
guys see
fucking
why.
human had a damn tribe. I don't give a fuck what you talking about. Them gnomes, all them damn gnomes in fucking Egypt, them was fucking tribes. I remember they ain't doing them intermediate periods when them damn dynasties and shit was battling each other. Them was it was fucking tribal war. What you talking about? When you create yourself as a state or confederate, even Thinis was a confederation of different chieftains. Those were tribes.
That's why I've been heated. And Gaffa, I hope you truly see my side, even though I can still learn. I'm not here to be 100% right.
And true colors came out. You tripping. He was tripping.
Now, do you see why I got heated? Why I became the way I am?
California is a tribe. The fuck you talking about? It is a tribe. Humans are tribalistic. I don't give a damn what you talking about. All that shit was a conglomerate of tribe. You can't even have you can't have no states without tribes. Or coming out of tribes. You can't have no chieftains without tribes. What are you talking about, bro? Talking fucking nonsense. In that case, nobody a fucking tribe. That's just some fucking concept shit any damn way. Real for real. You got ethnic groups. And every damn human population have ethnic groups. Wildin', bro. Let me see. Hold on. Let me get in my bag. Let me get into my bag real quick, man.
Get into your bag. I want to learn.
Let me get into my fucking bag real quick, man. Hold on. Oh, okay. Okay. Fucking want to talk about tribes and shit. Christopher Eric. Civilizations of Africa. Tribes and tribal. The problems with the word tribe and tribal becomes hardly clear if we ask a series of questions. Why is it that during the period of Nigerian civil war in the late 1960s, more than 10 million Igbo people of southeastern Nigeria were called a tribe? And all the newspaper articles dealing with the war, when 200,000 Ruthians who resided in Czechoslovakia, Poland, in Belarus, and fewer than 400,000 citizens of Malta were called nationalities. Why was the war called a tribal war anyway, instead of a civil war, and actually was a war called a tribal war anyway? Instead, the Civil War, it actually was. Why time and again do we see newspaper articles and news reporters on television, and the qualifiers tribe or tribal to their descriptions of people and events in Africa? Why is Shaka, the famous 19th century ruler, called the king of a Zulu tribe, when in actuality he was a king of a centralized and military powerful state? West Africa has states too, piece of shit. Why are Africans in the tribal in traditional dress said to be engaging in tribal dancing, when European garb similarities in clothes of an earlier time and are said to be performing folk dance, which is some fucking tribal shit? Why is the work of African artists done in styles in previous centuries called tribal art is not a simple art fashioned by Africans? Why is the royal African man of today, who is more attuned in royal culture and less caught up in the modern day African urban milieu, called a tribesman? Isn't he just a man and the same as any other? Clearly, tribe is an affiliation Europeans have reserved for a non-European ethnic group and nationalities, in the most especially of those of Africa. So possessive was the use of tribe during the colonial era, and that even Africans themselves today often unlikely use the word or it is equivalent when speaking English or other European languages. By tribe, by translation, words in this home languages with the mean simply ethnic group or sometimes clan. But the English word conveys much more than that. For the native speaker of English, it takes only a moment of thought about phrase such as tribal dancing to realize that we are being presented with a value judgment of the activity, and the people we are being represented with the value judgment on activity and the people involved in it, that are exotic, strange, acting perhaps a little out of control, culturally or technologically backward in the comparison to us, and sometimes dangerous to boot. Yeah, I'm gonna know what you're talking about. Nationality is a tribe anyway. You can say that. What are you talking about, bro? Nobody ever said there was no damn tribe until a damn European showed the fuck up anyway. Some of the people that would be characterized as nations and states in the first fucking place. West Africa has different states and all this shit. You have the house of states. What are you talking about? You had different Yoruba states. Igbo had their own little states, different chieftains and shit. Same way Egypt and all that shit was created in some fucking Afro-Asiatic way. It was some fucking tribes, motherfucker.
My brother Gullah.
When you look at normal with all the motherfucking them people with all them motherfucking flags and all that shit up, them was fucking tribes that he united and shit.
My bro Gullah.
Yeah, bro.
Do you see why I got heated?
Yeah.
Do you see why I started speaking a different language?
Yeah. Yeah.
My thing is I learned from you, my brother. I fight against division. And when somebody wants to claim the continent and they can't even speak a language from the continent and they want to divide us, I'm gonna go at them. As an East African who grew up in a Western country later on and got educated in a Western country, I do have ties. I'm not going to share my name. I'm not going to share my education. And I'm not going to share the level of connection I have to the region unless it's with three people. You and Gozi and Juju. You guys can have full information, and I promise you're going to see what I mean. But the rest of them, they can assume whatever the hell they want.
Mm-hmm.
While I fight against their stupidity of division.
Mm-hmm.
I don't claim whatever country you're from. If you claim to be from East Africa, Ethiopia, or Somalia, and you are biased, subjective, and you want to create division, I'm going to go to war with you. If you're from North Africa, same thing. What I find is that's funny. As a person from the continent, I have friends and I want to say this clearly. I have friends and family in Egypt. I have friends in Morocco. They don't act the same way as certain people do who claim to be from that region who grew up in the Western world.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, I'm not going to allow anyone who is biased or racist to come and divide us. F that. I'd rather have a lot of people hate me than allow me to be divided from people who I respect. That's it.
Yeah, that's some real shit, bro.
But much respect. I truly learn from you. I want you to stream more often. I apologize if if I come in heated. You can always tell me, yo, Sonic, step back. I'm gonna be quiet and just listen
No, you
out of
good, bro.
respect. And I'm gonna
Yeah.
learn.
Yeah, I
That's a
feel
growth
you.
opportunity for me when you speak.
Mm-hmm. That's what's up, bro. Thought Ngozi would come back. Hope he listening. You know what I'm saying? Listen to the build or whatever.
Hope you
Probably got busy. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
fair. Bogala, your stream is awesome. I truly apologize if I came off too aggressive tonight. I'm sorry, bro.
No, you good, bro. You good, bro. I'm up here looking. I'm up here Googling. I know what they did. They pre-dynastic Egypt have tried. Yep. And they say it. Pre-dynastic Egypt had tribes. The tribes and regions of Egypt united under leadership of powerful rulers. These rulers used diplomacy and military force to expand their influence and control. The fuck you talking about, Banu? Fuck out of here with that bullshit. Can't fool no motherfucker. You ain't fool me with that bullshit. Who the fuck you think you talking to around this motherfucker? I'm the wrong motherfucker.
He
I'm
doesn't
King Ali
understand your
Mo,
gullah.
motherfucker. Huh?
Your gullah. The guy
For
who have
real.
more books than the average freaking down payment from a home.
Yeah, talking about some motherfucker ain't no tribe. You ain't human. Ain't no human experience without no tribe. Humans are tribalistic by nature. Fucking apes. The fuck you talking about? Fuck you some alien or something? Some ancient alien shit? You better than the next motherfucker? That's what you sound like. Some fucking dynastic theory, race theory bullshit.
He got influenced by YouTubers who
Ain't no
want to have a
human on this.
bias.
Yeah, ain't no human on this fucking planet start off as no fucking tribe. If the ancestors of fucking Egyptians were fucking hunter gatherers, the motherfuckers was tribal. Fuck out of here.
Well, he don't understand your gullah. Like I said before, you read more books than the average down payment from a home
Tripping.
or a house, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm. Tree wild. Like that don't even make sense.
Gala, this is a moment for me. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Are the Coptics the only group in Egypt, or are there other groups in Egypt who are not Coptic, who are from the region?
He said, who embarrassed by that? I don't give a fuck about my past. I don't embarrassed by my past. I ain't embarrassed by my damn past. Shit. I'm happy and proud for my past, nigga. I'm a real motherfucker, boy. Y'all some goofies.
Straight up.
Straight up goofies, boy.
I
Scary.
appreciate it.
You would be scared to go. You would be scared to go where I'm from. We goofy. So I'm scared. Scared of my. You ain't scared of my past. Nigga. I come from some hard motherfuckers, boy. You crazy. You scared of your past because you scared to just admit that your motherfuckers are tribal. It is what it is. Greeks was fucking tribal. How the fuck Greeks are tribal? Egyptians ain't tribal. Get the fuck out of here.
It's that
What you think
racist
Sparta?
supremacy.
What you think Spartans was fucking tribes. He crazy as hell.
When I hear him speak, all I hear is that the 1930s, 40s, 50s white person who says Aryan power.
Who said this shit?
No, nobody said that, but when the doctor speaks,
The type of
it's a,
vibe.
yeah, it's the equivalent.
Yeah, he started off cool, but he started tripping.
He's on that Aryan, pure Aryan lineage type of shit.
Mm-hmm. That motherfucker came out like a chosen person or some shit. Nobody don't chose a motherfucker. You was a tribe in the dirt like any other motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Playing with pigs and goats and shit. And cows and all that shit. What you think fuck eat? What you think the people was doing on the intermediate periods? They was on some tribal ass shit. Fighting each other. Battling over fucking who gonna run Egypt. That's some tribalism, nigga.
The thing is, for me, it's this.
Saint,
You
Saint,
can't even
Saint,
speak.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Let me just say this real quick.
Yeah,
Same
go ahead.
way when I just read when Christopher Harris said, you know what I'm saying, them regions just had civil wars. Egypt had civil, you could equivalent that to tribalism. You know what I'm saying? Just like Egypt, when they had little civil wars in the intermediate period, that's them fucking tribes fighting each other.
Exactly.
Like it's just like gangs, it's like Bloods and Crips, they tribes.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
That's trouble shit. If people don't realize it, then they're gonna miss it out. And if they don't understand the culture and the history of it, they're gonna totally just assume they're two of the same people and they're arguing about random shit. Bro, that's tribal warfare right there.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I can say is this. How do you not even speak the Coptic language? You don't even speak Arabic, perhaps. Are you gonna come in to divide people? I'm from the continent and I speak an African language. And I'm trying to unite the people from the diaspora. Like, what the? I argue for your people being the original people from the land, but you want to fight me and then insult Black Americans? I'm not
Mm-hmm.
going to sit back. I want to be very disrespectful towards you because at the end of the day, I'm going to say this. Zahir Hawass, who is an Egyptologist, is from the Middle East. His family is Arabic, and he wants to claim old ancient Egypt. What the hell makes you different from him? You're not from the continent, unless you go take a DNA test and you can prove you can speak the language. Even after you take a DNA test and you can't speak the languages, Arabic or Coptic, you ain't us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from the freaking region and I'm not gonna qualify myself to nobody. I don't give a F. You can think I'm an elementary school dropout who can't speak any languages, even though I showed Gala, I spoke a different language tonight. I hope I showed you.
Yeah. Because even right here I'm reading say, even though like nationalism is not exactly tribalism, it's a step above it. It's even more like it's fucking nationalism. Nationalism is fucking tribalism on steroids, motherfucker. What are you
Yeah.
talking about? It's nationalism. I'm gonna say it again. Nationalism is tribalism on steroids. This is where they say nationalism is loyal to a nation as a whole, while tribalism is loyal to a smaller group within the nation. Nationalism involves action, while tribalism and patriotism are based in belief.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Any other information about myself? Only 3 people will ever know outside this community: Gala, Ngozi, and Juju. Gala, my work, my education, I will definitely share with you in person. Like, not in person, in private. Everyone else, go ahead and create a narrative for yourself about me. I'm so comfortable, I don't care.
Yeah.
But I will fight you when it comes to racism. I'm anti-racism, straight up.
Mm-hmm. But shit, I finna jump off, dog. We finna end this show tonight. We're gonna get it in. Next time, we're gonna get in about the get it to Niger Congo shit going, bro. Continue about this. I'm going to the societies next time. Peace, bro. Happy New Year's to the followers and everybody. Please subscribe, hit that like button. We out of here.
Much respect. I look forward to your next show, and I love the Niger Congo conversation.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Peace.
Thank you for having me, and I apologize for anything else.
Oh yeah, man. Anytime, brother.
Much respect, bro.
Peace.
Peace.